All right. We should be in business. Let me get the link over to people. Thank you for the patience. Might be a new link. I want to make sure people have that. Oh, we're in business now. I know what went wrong. It was a personal error, not a tech error. Personal error, not a tech error. Throw this in my outside in group chat. All right, everyone. Can we get a chat test? Can we get a chat test, please? Sorry for the technical issues. I think we may be back. Yeah, we're in business. Okay, nice. Let me get this new link out. Oh, Abba says he's here. Okay. Let's start fresh as if none of this happened. I didn't introduce anything new, but I made a mistake in my launch process, and that is exactly what happened. So let's pretend that we're starting from scratch. I can cut all that out. Actually, we need our keyboard sounds. Doc M. Werner. And we need getting back set up here. Here we go. Starting now. Crash dump. Step in to the outside in. For those who are here in the first stream earlier this morning, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties. We are back. We are resilient. There are always a million excuses not to write. There are always a million excuses not to chase your dreams, but we are here. We got some chats going on. We got Uzair in the chat. Uzair, thank you so much for joining the chat. Doc M. Werner says, good morning. Oh, thank you, Doc M. Werner. So appreciate you being here. We don't have so much time to spare. Let's get right into it. So let's remind everybody what we're doing. Today we are writing a Mother 7-Age Creation Mythology. So it's 7 myths that tell one story about the origin of the cosmos. And the protagonist of the story we're making is Earth, okay? And so from nothing, from a void, we get a light, we get a sun, we get the Big Bang. Ultimately, we get Earth. And in this myth today, she has 2 sons. So I'll take you to where we were last stream, and then I'll tell you what our goals are going to be for today. So we, in our last stream, we were working on a brother. So at the end of this, at the end of a mother, we're back. Yeah, Billy, thank you so much for your patience there. It was a personal error, actually, in my launch sequence. So it was not a tech error. It was a personal error. Got to take responsibility for that. I missed a step in my launch sequence. Okay. So we were talking about how we have this Earth, right? And she's born, and she's really happy to be a daughter of the sun until she feels ashamed. She feels ashamed when she sees how beautiful a dying sun is. She looks at it, she's like, oh my God, I'm so much less beautiful. And this is a very common trope in mythology, and even in our lives, where you see something perfect and it makes you feel ashamed. You see someone excellent at something and it reminds you how unexcellent you are, how inferior you are at it. This is also common in biblical tropes, where when mortals behold the divine, they're overcome with they tremble, they are awed, they are brought to their knees or blinded. They can't fully speak or see what they see. And so in this, in our myths, we're saying that Earth beholds the dying sun and sees how beautiful the dying sun is and feels ashamed. And so she wishes that she were more than she is, right? And it's out of this desire to be more than she is that she ultimately creates life. And we're not going into the details of that today because we have a lot of writing to do. But so she ultimately creates life, right? And two different brothers are born. One is born, imagine Earth, right? So you have two poles, right? Make sure I'm in the camera. You have two poles, right, of a sphere, right? There's 2 points where day becomes one place where day becomes night and one place where night becomes day. There's two lines of separation between day and night. And so what we're saying is that one of them is born where at day, and one of them is born at dawn, which is where night turns to day, and one of them is born at dusk, where day turns to night. And obviously you'd want to be going into the day versus going into the night. That would be preferred, and we'll see why soon. So we're going to do a reading and an analysis. This myth is extremely important for the one that we're going to be writing today. So I am going to read it and analyze it to a certain extent for you. There's a certain amount that I want you to read into, and there's a certain amount that I'll leave open, but there's a certain amount that should be clear from the text. And if it's not, then we probably need to do some reworking. So that's why it's okay to explain. So this begins kind of epically. It says, he is born at dawn. He is born at dawn. Him, her son. Him, her son. His figure, 2 eyes. His figure, 2 eyes. 2 eyes to see. So far, everything's identical, except that one is born at dawn and one is born at dusk. They're both her son. They're both masculine, it seems. They both have 2 eyes to see. So that's like what they look like, and that's what they seem. And so now the next line is his 2 eyes open. His 2 eyes open. He sees a day. He sees a night. He sees not. He sees not. He has a brother. He has a brother. So let's walk through it. Back, Jesse, Matthew, welcome. Step into the outside in. We had a little bit of a chaotic morning, but we stayed calm. I was just kind of breathing through it. I was feeling stressed. I really want to create a good product for you, and I like to be reliable on time and things. And my heart was racing, but I breathed and I was just stayed calm and ran the sequence of tests to find the bug. And I think we should be cooking now. The thumbnail maybe got incorrect. That's the only thing that might be incorrect in this quick shuffle, but I wasn't too worried about that. Okay, let's. It's the people who are here are the. Right now, this is all about community and consistency, a creative companion, a place. It's not about growth, random people finding us. Right now, that's. Let's get the consistency and the community layer really settled and excellent and reliable and no tech issues. And then we can worry about cleverness and growth. Okay. So his 2 eyes open, he sees a day. So one of them sees a day, and we could break this up into 2 paragraphs. That's fine. But for now, he sees a day, he sees a night. So obviously you probably rather see a day. You can't see that much at night. I can't, at least. He sees not, he has a brother. So not only is he a brother, but he has one. And that's not necessarily assumed. You could be a sister and have a brother, right? But we're saying that he doesn't see that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to build up some suspense, right? So we're teeing ourselves up with this sort of conflict, saying, okay, we have 2 brothers and they don't know that they have a brother yet. And so now if we're reading it correctly, and the hieroglyphics that I'm going to be associating it with correctly are clear, then you should be able to tell that at some point they're going to meet and they don't know yet. And so that should build some stakes. Here. When you think about this in a poetry or a hymn mode, keep in mind one will sing, one will answer. One will sing, one will answer, kind of their opposites. You'll see that they're almost identical except for this first detail about where they're born. they're identical, but that changes everything. And so you'll see how that materializes. So you'll see what is the same and what actually does change from the circumstances of the birth. So at once. Okay, so the son is born. He sees the day, he sees the night, but neither sees he has a brother. At once. So the moment that he opens his eyes, at once she pulls her breast, and she is supposed to remember that you can read these myths on their own, but also they're supposed to be a part of the whole 7-part. So she, we assume, is her mother, but we're going to learn that in the next one either. But in the next stanza. But we also do inherit it from obviously the 4 myths that are prior. So at once she pulls her breast. So instead of like using she says or she sings, I feel like if you use the comma into italic quotation mark, you know, you get it's clear that she's speaking, right? She pulls her breast. So it's kind of the nature of her speaking. And so she pulls her breast, and now she's speaking. Drink, my son. Drink of me. Drink my milk. Drink of a mother. And so when I'm reading that, I want you to think for a second, okay? You're in a world, and this is like a poem, an epic poem, kind of like that really matters to them. And you have drink, and it's 2 people going back. Drink, my son. Drink, my son. You can imagine this incantatory feeling of like a woman rocking her baby, nursing, right? And breastfeeding is one of those monomythic, you know, it's one of those timeless things, timeless instances, timeless occurrence of humanity where women breastfeed. You know, it's super nutritious. So they're going to be breastfeeding. And so you could imagine someone, a mother singing, like just the repetition of it, drink, rocking, drink, my son, drink of me, drink my milk, drink of, you know, like, I don't know how to sing, and I'm not a musical genius, but I think you can see that there's that with the repetition at the beginning, and the clear, just by saying that, like, you get so much context of this. Drink, my son, drink of me. Like any mother would know this feeling. Diane Warner says, hearing you now, thanks. Yeah, it was my fault on the launch, actually. It was not a tech, but sometimes, like, one of the tech things, just those things happen. But this was actually a personal error on the launch sequence. So got to take responsibility for that. The 35 minutes of floundering were mine and mine alone to be responsible for. So, but the only thing we can do is the best we can in that moment, and we turned it around. We're back here live, and we're having a great writing session. So I was obviously not, I like to be on time. I like to be reliable for you all. I was not happy to that was happening, but what can you do but become? Okay, so she's telling him at once, she pulls her breast, she says, drink of me, and he drinks. And he drinks of his mother. Her son drinks of his mother. This is a timeless tale, right? This is as long as we've had people, we've had breastfeeding. As long as we've had babies and mothers, we've had breastfeeding, okay? A day's milk is warm, a night's milk is cold. And now we're seeing the second primary difference. So we're saying that the 2 brothers are identical, except that one is born at dawn and one is born at dusk, right? The first time we notice a difference between, everything's been identical except for here. He sees a day and he sees a night, right? So it's implied, I think, that a night is not as good as a day, but we haven't given any specifics for why that would be. And you don't get to inherit anything at this level of register. Every tool that you use, every word that you use, you know, you need to introduce very carefully because you're architecting reality from primordial, like elemental components. And if you just introduce if a component comes out of nowhere, you lose it, right? So we're justifying the authority. The story justifies its authority by beginning before beginning, by saying there was no story even before. This is how it all started, and that's how why a lot of these religious texts do believe in that, because it's quite compelling to begin at the very beginning, right? Okay, this story starts at the very beginning. It's a different kind of story. All right. So he has a brother. I think that's a cool concept. That he has a brother. So a day's milk is warm, a night's milk is cold. So that's the second inkling that this is the second time that we're noticing that there's a difference between a day and a night. A day's milk is thick, rich. A night's milk is thin, brine. So obviously thick and rich is better than thin and brine. So thick, like it's clearly like thick and nourishing, and rich. We're introducing this concept of fortune and richness in terms of like nourishment at this stage of this mythology, because that is really what matters, is nourishment and ability to grow. A night's milk is thin brine. So brine is like a salty solution. So a briny solution would be used to like store meat. Like, so let's say you're a pirate and you're going on like a crazy journey across the sea. What did they eat, right? So how did they do that? What they did was they would butcher like pigs primarily, and they would salt them for like weeks, months, and then when they pack it on the boat, you don't actually just put it in salt. It's not good. It's going to get wet with salt water. What you put it in is a briny solution in a sealed cask, and so it's actually it's salted meat in a briny solution. Then you pull it out, you wash off the salt in the ocean, literally in the ocean, because this ocean is less salty than the brine and the salt encrusted meat, and then you boil it in fresh water. So brine is that salt solution that is used to preserve salty meat. It is not meant for drinking. And as you can see here, we get her son is nourished, her son drinks is nourished, her son drinks is famished. So it's pretty clear. We're starting to see tension building. Okay, so because one was born at dawn and one was born at dusk, despite them being exactly identical, one is getting nourished and one is getting famished. And so the son asks, who are you? We could say her son, him, who, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll that's a polished thing. At the end, we're trying to finish myth 6 today. This is myth 5, so we're pushing. I'm just trying to get you through. I need you to understand this if you want to have a hope of understanding the next one, which I think you really will. If you want to have a hope of that, understand that one, we really got to walk through what we have. So, yes, who are you? So we've decided that usually I was really debating whether we would ask who am I versus who are you first. And I decided who are you? I think you're not as much of a risk to yourself as some alien entity. And I think the first reaction would be fear versus a desire for self-knowledge. So who are you? She sings, and I am whether I use, here, we could do this. I figured out how to do this inside the tables. Last time I was trying to use the highlighter app. It doesn't work inside tables, but that should work. Yep. Okay. We get better here, team. So I'm not going to make that same mistake next time. And we just get better. That's all I can say. And so she sings, I am a mother, merely she, merely herself. I come from a dying sun, my figure merely half shadow, me merely beautiful. So it's kind of sad the way she's singing here. It's like, if you remember that the reason she feels ashamed is that she saw how beautiful a dying sun was and became aware of her ineptitude. And we discussed how this is like a very common monomythic concept of beholding something divine and feeling ashamed before it. But it's also common on Instagram. You see someone look perfect, look amazing, it makes you feel like shit. Oh, they have a cool life. You're waking up early to write with me. You're not on some yacht. Nepo baby, right? It makes you feel like shit. And so there is this idea of beholding perfection and feeling imperfect. And I think that that moment of her being ashamed, she literally comes out and says, I wish I were more than she, more beautiful, right? So all the ways that she's less than the sun, she wishes she was more than that. And so in some ways, I have to say in some ways, I don't want to claim anything. In some ways, we're saying that her seeing of something more perfect than she is what causes her to feel sad, ashamed. So not sad, ashamed. And it's that shame that causes her to spin and cry. And it's that spinning and crying that creates life, which ultimately creates life, which ultimately creates us. And I think when you're thinking about this mythology the entire time I'm writing it, we're going to be writing it for the next few months here. We're going to be trying to get this out the door soon, but I'm going to be showing you the whole process of how I get this out the door, this myth. Wait, what was I just saying? If anybody remembers what I was just saying, myth out the door. Throw me a bone, fam. I'll drink some water. No biggie if not. We can get into writing. Uzair, are you in the chat? Shout out Uzair if he's in the... And also, how do I pronounce your name better if I'm mispronouncing it? I'll continue, but if you remember what I was saying, then we will do it. So we say it's thick, it's fine, he's nourished. So who are you? She sings, I'm merely me, I'm merely beautiful, I feel sad. So she's ashamed of who she is. That's the way she describes herself, and it's quite sad. And we want her to feel fulfilled. We want her to feel relieved of that shame. When she sings, imagine a female singing it and the sadness in her, like a younger girl, younger mom. She pulls her breast, drink my son, drink of me, drink of a mother. Now this is where it gets interesting. She says, drink my son, drink and become he himself, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. I think those of you who have been listening closely, I do think you might just be able to understand it. So I'm going to read it one more time and then I'll explain it, but I do think you're just going to get it. You could just understand it. Drink my son, drink and become he himself, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. So she's telling him to drink, and she wants him to become who he's supposed to be. And the person who he's supposed to be is someone who can behold a dying son and know no shame. No shame. So she was ashamed when she beheld a dying son, and she doesn't want her children. She wants better for her children than for herself, right? She obviously has been fleeing her shadow. She's been crying because of the futility of escaping her shadow and her shame. So, she doesn't want that for her kids. She wants better for them. So the next question he asks is, who am I? She says, you are her son, he himself. You come from a mother. Your form is two eyes. I think this is figure now. We're going to use form more specifically later. And I think figure and figurine, we're going to get good value out of figurine. And figuring as a form of shaping. So you'll see. Two eyes to see him in my blue waters. So she's saying, he asks, who am I? And she's saying, you're her son, he himself, you come from a mother, your figure is two eyes. She's telling what he looks like. And you have two eyes to see him in my blue water. So she's telling him what she wants him to do. She's saying, look, seek, see him, see who that person who beholds a dying son and knows no shame in my blue waters. Not 100% clear yet, but if you understand what I'm saying if I'm telling it to you. The poem could use a little clarity. She's saying, you have two eyes, look at yourself in my blue waters. Okay? Please follow me because it gets interesting here. Fam. Are you ready? It really does get quite interesting here. So she says, look at your reflection. And if we remember all the way back to myth 2, and if we remember, actually we don't even need, my myth, but also in the second sentence of Genesis. So in the beginning, God created the heavens of the earth, and the Spirit of God the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. Now, in the beginning, the earth was formless and void, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. In the beginning, that's it. And we're talking about the Spirit of God that hovered over the face of the waters. That's what we're talking about when we had the glimmer, the sun seeing himself. Now she's saying, well, you look. So the sun was seeing, the divine was seeing itself reflected. Now she's saying, you look in my waters. Except that he seeks, her son seeks himself in her sweet waters, in her salt waters. So he's in the nighttime, and he's going to try to look at his reflection in salty waters, and he's going to look at his reflection in sweet waters. What are they going to see? So he sees, and keep in mind, these I am he himself, those who have been to numerous Insider episodes, and I think if you're watching this, most likely you've seen at least some of the others, because, this is a very small community right now, and we haven't really tried to grow so much. Working on that a little bit in the background, though. We are saying, he says, he sees, I am he himself. I come from a mother, let me finish that thought, actually. You'll see that these introductions are very similar to the ones that a sun does, that a dying sun does, that a light does, right? So we're using a sort of template here. And obviously, in the final polish, we make sure that those all have a parallelism, so that if you look back, you could say, it's slightly varied here. I see how he did that to do X, Y, Z, right? If everyone has 6 lines and only this one has 5 lines, that gives you a tool. If then this one has 7 lines, or if everyone rhymes and this one doesn't rhyme, right, that's a tool. And so by creating patterns, by creating structure, by creating infrastructure, we actually give ourselves more opportunity. By giving us constraints and by giving us infrastructure, we actually give ourselves more opportunity to express style. So let's look at the left guy, the guy who looks at himself at dawn. He says in the daytime, he says, I am he himself. I come from a mother. My figure is 2 eyes to see. I see. I am beautiful. So it's a pretty good experience looking in his mother's sweet waters. Let's see what the other guy had. Let's see what his experience is like. And shout out Mama Werner if she's in the chat, Diane Werner. I interviewed her like 3 years ago about this myth when I was first conjuring it. Maybe 2 years? 2 years, I think. And she really helped as a mother of 4 sons who are quite different. So shout out Mama Werner if she's in the chat, mother of sons. And shout out all moms of sons. Okay. He sees, I am he himself. I come from a mother. My figure is 2 eyes to see. I see, I am a darkness. So I could have read that a little slower, but this guy's seeing, he's looking, and because it's nighttime and because it's salt water, he sees he's dark. He sees he's himself as a darkness. And how sad is that? How sad is it when people look in the mirrors and hate themselves and notice everything wrong with them? But how sad is it, especially for this kid, right? It was only because he was born at dusk. He's trying to drink some milk. It tastes like salty shit. He opens his eyes. His mother's like, look at yourself, become this great guy. He looks, and all he sees is a darkness, the thing he's trying to flee, this terrible thing that she's trying to flee, that she hates, because he can't see because it's dark. So it's quite sad that his self-reflection is actually a darkness, right? It's quite sad. This has been a sad story so far, right? The way that a mother has introduced herself is pretty sad and self-defeating, and the way that one brother is getting a bunch of good luck. He's having the time of his life. His other brother seems a little to be kind of getting the rough end of the stick here. So, he is awed, he is ashamed, he figures, he disfigures. Okay, so this is interesting. So, what do you do if you see that you're beautiful, right? And what do you do if you see that you're beautiful versus what do you do if you see that you're ashamed? And what I'm writing here, and keep in mind, this is a rough draft. We're getting to the end. We're trying to write 6 today and then maybe 7 next week. Maybe 2 weeks. I don't want to overpromise. He is awed and he is ashamed. So he's awed by himself. And if we go back a little bit, I want to show you how everything connects. If we come back to a daughter, she's awed by a dying son's beauty. There, a daughter beholds a dying son. She's wrapped by awe, okay? Then, literally there and then, she's wrapped by shame. She's merely beautiful. So first she feels awe, then she feels shame. Okay, now we come down. I'll show you how it connects. So he gets to be awed and he is ashamed. So instead of her having both, one gets all the awe and one gets all the shame. It wasn't evenly distributed. It was as unevenly distributed as possible. And so as a result, this son figures, this is a shitty sentence. We got to combine these. This is absolute ass. Sorry for the cursing. Parents are in the chat. I'll clean it up. No reason to be crass. It's unbecoming. If it's authentic, it's fine in the moment, but I don't find crassness over the top to be becoming, especially of someone aspiring to be an orator and an articulator. He figures his 2 eyes. So what's been cool is that even though this is taking me so long, like I actually know where everything's going so well that if this first myth is good, and I think it is pretty good and pretty interesting as a standalone story about Earth's genesis, if I can tell the next one, then the next one, I have planted seeds for the most epic payoffs. Like if I finish myth 1, let's say, Harry Potter book 1, like she planted a bunch of seeds for herself. Like if this first myth, like these 7 myths together form one good thing, and it actually is successful, there's just so many ideas. Too many. I don't have writer's block. I have writer's traffic. It's actually a cool quote. I never thought of that before, and I will wonder if anybody has ever said that before. I'm not sure. If anyone's in the chat wants to see if I just invented that. I don't have writer's block. I have writer's traffic. Meaning, is it that good? Doesn't matter. Okay. He figures this too. I'm procrastinating. You guys, that's part of writing, I guess. Okay, he figures his 2 eyes to 4 eyes. Okay, so 2 eyes to 4 tongues. This is an important point, so let's unpack it. He is awed. He is, and we're about the end here, right? So he is awed, he is ashamed, right? So one is awed, one is ashamed. He figures his 2 eyes. He disfigures his 2 eyes. That's a pretty powerful word. He disfigures himself. Ugh. Disfigures his 2 eyes. 2 eyes to 4 eyes. 2 eyes to 4 tongues. So one grows 2 new eyes, and one splits 2 eyes into 4 tongues. I can make that more clear. So let's give this one of these. And shout out to Emily if she's in the chat. She saw me struggling with some of the, or maybe it was Jesse saw me struggling with some of the technical issues on the highlighting. In these tables, I figured out how to do it. You have to use these equals. We get better, team. So 2 eyes to 4 eyes. So one is odd, and he grows 2 new 4 eyes. 4 eyes to 4C, more and more milk. 4 tongues to foretell, less salt. So I haven't been so clear. One is awed, one is ashamed. One, as a result of his awe, he figures his 2 eyes. He wants to see more. He wants to be more awed, essentially. And this one, he takes his 2 eyes and he disfigures them. They're not even useful. He can't see stuff, and he can't see shit. And he's trapped. And what he does see is a darkness. And So he severs his tongues into his 2 eyes into 4 tongues. And we're gonna add this whole section will get a clean revisit. We want it to end powerful, teeing up the next myth, but that's not our objective today. Is to write the next myth and not RV saying welcome, step into the outside in. It's so good. Happy to have you here. I don't know, I can't identify you right off the bat based on your username. So if you want to give me something more to identify you, if I know you personally, if not, just welcome. It doesn't matter. Everyone is welcome. Okay, so we finished this myth and I'm going to update you, RV saying, on where we're at. I'll tell you what we're doing. We're doing a quick recap. Okay, I'm Marwan. I'm a fantasy author. I'm writing the mythology for a fantasy series. Okay, it's a 7-age creation mythology called A Mother. And by 7-age, it's 7 little poems. Okay, 7 little poems. And what we talked about is we started with like absolutely nothing, like just a dark singularity, right? Then we had a light. We had our Big Bang. Ultimately, Earth is formed, and she beholds the beauty of a sun and is ashamed at different ways that she's imperfect compared to a sun. And it's that shame that causes her to spin around and become aware of her shadow. And it's that shame that causes her to cry. And it's those tears that cause life to be born. And there's 2 brothers that are born one at each pole. So one is born at dawn, where day turns to night, or night turns to day, and one is born at dusk, where night turns to day, where day turns to night. And this gives them fundamentally different experiences of life, even though they're otherwise identical. If you look at this first paragraph of A Brother, which we were walking through in preparation for writing 6, we look at this like this, they're entirely identical, except for one is born at dawn, and when they open their eyes, one sees a day and one sees a night. And so that informs the rest of their experiences. They find that when they're drinking milk and they're trying to nourish themselves, that the day milk is extremely nourishing, and that the night milk is extremely shitty, salty and briny and not helpful. And so we end this story where a mother who loves her children is saying, look in my waters and look at your reflection, like become a great person who's gonna stand before a son and not know any of the shame that I felt. You're going to become a great man who knows none of that shame. And so she says, look in my waters. And so the one during the daytime looks into his water and sees he's beautiful because it's day. He can see his reflection. The one in the nighttime looks at his reflection and sees himself as darkness and hates himself and feels ashamed and loathing. And so we find that although both brothers were born with 2 eyes, one of them figures 2 eyes to 4 eyes. He makes more eyes, and he becomes known as 4 Eyes. That's his name now. And the other one takes his 2 eyes and splits them. He disfigures himself. That's a core word here. You'll find it's pretty raw to disfigure yourself. 2 eyes to 4 tongues. He severs them to 4 tongues, and they want 4 eyes to 4 see more and more milk, so more and more awe, more and more goodness. Less salt, less badness. So one is trying to escape the bad and one is trying to go for the good. So we are going to be hopping into Aspire here. I do just need to run to the bathroom very quickly. I'm not going to do a full break. We don't need a full break. So we lose some viewers when I take a full break. So just stick around. I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. We're back. All right. So let's get into this. Let me start from scratch here. This is... Oh, no. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is what we want. And let's do a word count. On that one. Let's clear this out. This was a sketch I was doing yesterday. Okay, and let's word count this. I do a little sketching before the stream, and I have a lot of these are drafts of myths I've done in the past. So I always have something on when I'm writing. I almost always have something on the right, notes. Okay, so this is 487 words now. I always have something on the right, like notes to look at. I'm almost never flying blind here, team. Thanks for the shout out, Diane. When I said being a mother is the greatest work I've ever done. I appreciate you, Mama. I really do. And I'm really having fun on this stream. I just love being here with you guys writing. Like, this is what I'd be doing anyway. And it means a lot that y'all are here. And I love the music that's playing. And I'm just, I'm happy to be here and happy to be writing. I love writing, and I like waking up early to write. And this is the lifestyle, the waking up early to write. So it's pretty pure. I've been doing this since I graduated college, since my first job. And that job started at 8 a.m. So I was waking up to write before this job called Alpha Science. I was waking up at 5:30. I was in the coffee shop at 6, and I was in the office at 8 every day, except for Fridays. Okay, let's keep cruising. So let's get into, that's the word count on that. Now we're going to do Aspire. So let's remember where we ended here. So one of these brothers is seeking more milk, and one of them is seeking less salt. So one of them is seeking more good, and one of them is seeking less bad. And we're going to get a collision. We're going to get a collision here, team. So let's get this cooking. Let's just get a column going. Oops. Let me see if I remember how to do this. By hand. Dawn, dusk. Just let me copy and paste one of these columns. This is what I need, I think. Come on. All right, I think that's not working. How to make columns in Markdown again. I knew how to do this, but I forgot. This is not the first time I've forgotten how to do it. It's just a little specific. Oh, you put dashes. No. Let me just give me copy paste column for Obsidian. I don't want to do this live. There was one time when I was doing a World Quest live, like back when I was streaming in 2020. Give me columns for writing, simple table. Where I was just doing the same World Quest over and over again, and I just couldn't figure it out on stream. Okay, here we go. This should work. There we go. But I don't want this. This is my stream checklist. That's okay. I have my stream tech thing open. We can say dawn, dusk. So brother 1. Some of writing is a little bit, yeah, I should have had this set up probably, and I will for the next one. But part of writing is making sure that everything looks clean and All right, let's just clear out the text from all these and get writing on fresh stuff today. We're a little bit late to getting started on writing fresh stuff today. We had to do that last one for context, and I had some technical issues at the beginning of the day that slowed us. So, sorry about that. But we are getting into it now. So, let me get my notes up, and we'll get cruising. E03 notes. Sorry, I had to restart everything with that drama of the thing. Okay. Here are my notes. Okay. So let's open strong. Clash. Truth foreseen and truth foretold. Clash. Truth foretold and truth foreseen. I'll unpack it. So we didn't do it perfectly, but if we scroll up with how we ended, one of them grew 4 eyes to foresee more and more milk, to foresee goodness, 4 tongues to foretell less salt, less badness. And these are and they have these competing truths, right? Because they both want to go towards the exact same place, towards the most good, the least bad, right? And so at the beginning of this story, we're kind of starting en media res, which is a film term of saying you're starting in the action, the moment of collision. So they're both they're going. And there could be a world where we build the tension a little bit more as they approach each other. That's definitely worth considering to build up the clash. There's the abruptness of the clash at the start. There's also in order to create a bigger moment, you create a smaller moment before it. We could consider that, but we're having a clash here. Let's get right into the action. So what I'm saying is the namesake of this piece, this myth, is called Aspire, because I'm saying aspire, twist, betwixt them. I think betwixt is a freaking cool word. It's very like Old English, if I spell it right. Aspire, twist, betwixt them. So, okay, one other thing to notice stylistically, like you're going to see. So we have these 2 brothers, right? And they, this is so cool. Guys, I honestly love this myth. What I'm about to show you is freaking cool, guys. Like, I think it actually is cool. So we have these 2 brothers, and they have totally different, they have like inverted experiences. So you see this sentence is identical: clash, truth foreseen, and truth foretold. In this one, it's foretold and truth foreseen. So it's the same sentence, but it is inverted, if you see what I'm saying. And you'll see that style come up in this myth a lot, where oftentimes they're doing things, but they're inverted. And we'll make sure that the consistency element across myths, we do that when we have all 7. Guys, we're close. We're doing this together. We're really close. We're on myth 6, and we're trying to get to the end of myth 6 today. I got a late start, but right now I don't have a job. I started looking for work this week. To everyone, shout out anyone looking for jobs. No fun. But today I don't have a job, and I slept way better. I built my whole schedule around this stream. Like I woke up really early yesterday so that I could fall asleep early enough last night so I could get real sleep. Like last week, I was actually streaming on like an hour and a half of sleep. I just was a little bit wired and nervous for the stream and kind of prepping at last second. But it worked. I got a bunch of sleep, so I'm kind of feeling great. Okay. And by a bunch of sleep, I mean like 4 hours, but that's good for early wake up and nerves and everything before a live event. Nerves of like excitement. Like Williams Court says, oh, sorry. I thought someone chatted, but it was an old chat. Okay, let's get back in. I'm procrastinating, but we're going into it. So clash, a brother and a brother. Clash, a brother and a brother. And the reason I use this clash comma is I think it's cool to have that abruptness. If 2 things are clashing, the clash is simultaneous for both of them, right? And that happens first. like it's the clashing that is the first thing, and then you have the 2 entities that clash. I think, like in my opinion, that's the best way to make sense of it. In addition, if we scroll up, you can see we have when the way that the sons are born is it uses the same exact format. Here, I'll show you the clashes. We can see at once clash, salt tears and sweet waters. At edge and edge clash, its glimmer and her shame. So you can see I've introduced this style before. It's not the first time I'm using it. And when I introduce a style, I like to reuse it. I like to when I introduce an element, add that to the toolkit of style that we can use, team. That's what we're gonna do. So let's keep cooking. So I didn't make this so clear at the end of that last myth because I was trying to get to our goal of this, but once we have this one, we'll be able to clean up the interstitial between them. Four Eye is the new name of the brother on the side, and Four Tongue is the new name of this guy, okay? Now, that happens when Four Eye has extra nourishment and he wants to see more goodness because his life has been rad, and Four Tongue disfigures his two eyes into two tongues because they've been useless because it's been nighttime and he can't see dog water at all. All right, Four Tails. Okay. Four Eye, Four Seas. Four Tongue, Four Tails, right? So this is going to be a consistent thing where they kind of have competing truths. Two things can be true, but only one can be the truth at any moment. And we're going to see kind of a pendulum swinging with that. So Four Eye, Four Seas, he is a brother. So I'm trying to take you into that moment. And this is all super rough, guys. I just have notes on the side that I was sketching yesterday for this, before this, so that I didn't come in completely raw, just at an empty page. I've had two writing streams where I came in completely raw, empty page, and it was a little stressful. I was fine. Look, I'm resilient, but it was also stressful. Because when you're in flow and you're having fun and you're creating something at least relaxing and a vibe, and when you're just dog shit. You can kind of tell. You don't always, it's not like you have perfect insight into it. When it's not working. It's a little harder to tell when it is working. He is a brother. I think he sees. I don't think he foresees. I think he sees. Foresees. I think, does he tell though? Four Tongue tells he is a brother. So we're talking about the moment of the clash, right? So one of them is called Four Tongue, one of them is called Four Eye. There's a spire between them, and now I'm trying to say, like, what does each of them experience? Now the eye is obviously Four Eye sees his brother. Four Tongue tells he is a brother. I think he tells. Or is he told? Yeah, Four Tongue tells he is a brother. If it feels clunky at the end, why don't we throw this here just in case? Yellow doesn't mean automatic change. It means revisit and can maintain momentum. We did a lot of that in the last stream so I'll show you. The last stream we had an issue. I can highlight anything here. Actually, that's also procrastination. Not to be done. You'll find that writers call this the chair. Sitting down and writing and focusing, and even when you're in the chair, the distractions are innumerable, and it is a constant refocusing. And I think those who meditate, shout out Jesse Matthew if he's in the chat, can relate to that. That it's not about not having thoughts; it's about redirecting those thoughts to your breath. So Four Tongue tells he is a brother. He is a brother. He has a brother. We'll clean up the language, but he's having a reckoning here. Okay, there's another one of me. Jesse Matthew, love it. Love it. You really are an inspiration. I love your yoginess. I love your Espanol. I love that you meditate. I love hanging out at your pad. So you are an inspiration, my friend. Guys, Jesse Matthews, the brave one. We're going to be launching, not this week. I want to do one more episode, especially now that we had those technical issues. I want to do one more episode clean and another week of daily insights clean. And then I'm opening up another broadcast, not just me writing, where I'm going to be editing other people's writing you can submit. And Jesse is the first one. He's the brave first one who's going to submit his writing. We're going to do it live. So shout out Jesse Matthew, an unbelievable member of the outsiding community, a true insider, and a true homie. So he has a brother, and we're cleaning up the language. Let's get to the end. He has a brother, and let's say him, her son. So he's also saying, okay, this is my brother, and he is also a son of a mother, right? So I don't think that's the clearest way to say that yet, but I'm just assuming everything is yellow now. I'm not going to even do it. Everything is yellow, okay? I'm just trying to get my notes like onto this page and kind of explain them to myself and to you because they were just from yesterday. But I have written this myth before, like a version of it. So it's not like the first time I've ever visited this story. I've actually told the story in several versions. So there are certain stories that stick with you. This is one for me. I think the whole story of the brothers, the ones with the origin of good and evil, really being that these two brothers are identical, except that one was born at dawn and one was born at dusk, and their entire lives are entirely different. And one becomes, you'll see, by the end of age 7, overcome with envy and resentment. And if you were him, you might feel the same. And so there's going to be a complex emotion of feeling there where you feel pity for evil, even though you obviously want it to lose. Okay, so him, her son. And this is one of my favorite little poems that I write. And like the version of it, remember, everything's yellow. Two brothers aspire. Capital, yeah, two brothers aspire. I'll share with you guys my style guide. I think that would be a good stream also. When we're doing the polish, I will write a style guide. Two brothers aspire. That includes like what's capital, what punctuation I'm allowed to use, etc. for myself, Good morning, Adam Eli. Step into the outside in. You're the best. Thank you for being here. Thank you for swinging by, and thank you for the encouragement. We're having a great stream. We had some technical difficulties, but everybody was resilient, went to the new link, and we reviewed the last myth. We were talking about Adam Eli. I'm going to give you just the basic updates, and otherwise just keep it on as a vibe, and there will be moments that you'll understand, and you don't have to follow too much. But we're talking about the origin of good and evil today. And we're doing it in the story as a story between two brothers. And there's a lot of different retellings of this. It's not monomythic in the way that you think that it's always told the same. There's a lot of different tellings of it. And the way that we tell it is that there's two brothers that are born of a mother. And they're exactly identical, except that one is born at dawn and one is born at dusk. Keeping in mind that dawn is the precipice between a night and a day. So he's born right about to have a full day ahead. Whereas the other brother is born at dusk, on the precipice between, day and night, so with a full night ahead. And this informs every single thing about them, and it becomes the origin of good and evil. So we'll see that materialize. We don't even need spoilers. We'll figure it out together. But we have these two brothers in this battle, and it all begins here. He sees a day. He sees a night here. You can see that. Okay, and that is what we are up to. And also, I just like streaming. I like waking up early, and I like writing, and I like being here with you guys. This is like legitimately what I would be working on today. It's legitimately what I would be working on today. What we're working on right now. And we're close, guys. The end is near. Okay, what's this? This we gotta go. This has to go. Okay. Two brothers aspire to top aspire. Brother grapples. Brother. We can use a there. We'll see if we use a brother or brother. When we're polishing this myth, we'll call an episode Aspire, and I'll talk about why I use that word and what aspiration means to me, but that's not today. Aspiration, I think, is an important thing, but it is an ascent, and when you ascend, there's the risk of falling. Okay, so two brothers aspire to top aspire, brother grapples brother. Because also we can say two brothers aspire to top aspire. I think that's okay. There's a lot of ways to tell this poem, and there's a lot of ways I have written it. I don't want to get too into it. Let's get to the end, and then we can clean it up. But you guys can see the poetic potential there. If you guys have read any of my poetry, you know that I've got a lot of tools here for my poetry. Two brothers aspire to top aspire. You know, you could even go. I think it even sounds more rhythmic, like two. Anyway, I could get lost in the poems, but I follow. One thing I try to do is follow my own advice. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but like I read these things and I would say them out loud, and I would write them in my journal about like writing strategy and like a personal accountability. And then sometimes I go against it. I'm like, actually, no, you should do that. And a part of this project, like actually going for the stream, was following my own advice of just being like, yo, go for it, try it. There's nothing really to lose, and there's a lot to gain. And now we're here, and I feel so comfortable. I feel stoked. We're in this for the long haul, fam. Whoever's in here, how many people do we have in here? I can check. I usually don't have that open, but we can maybe take a look. How many viewers? 5 people. That's huge, guys. That's huge. That's like infinite more than many of my streams used to be before launch, and a really solid amount for a Tuesday morning, like considering it. Uzair, if you're in the stream, say what's up. I'm working with a potential new video editor who is we're working on some stuff for clips. Like, it is hard, guys. It's not exactly the best format. I need a clear call to action. There's a lot of social media stuff I'm learning, but I just want everyone to be patient with it and just say that growing really fast is not the goal right now. You know, like the goal is just to like figure it out and feel comfortable and make something awesome. Like, if this is an awesome place to be and it keeps getting better, people are happy to be here and they reliably want to show up. And if I missed a week that it would be missed, then we have something, you know? And when I'm then I think opportunities will emerge. So it's all really about community and consistency right now, which is why I felt like my heart was really racing when I had some technical difficulties and I had to take down the stream. That URL's been up all week, so it stressed me out a little bit. Anyway, two brothers aspire to top aspire. Brother grapples brother. Brother grapples brother. So they both want to get to the top. Only one can get to the top. I think we may need to say, it can be shitty language. We would say only one ascends. Adam Mila, it's pretty funny. I tried so many things during the beta period of Make Myth series, but it's ultimately kind of coming back to pretty much exactly what you and I did in those early Make Myth episodes, kind of just writing side by side. It's really just kind of companion writing. I always love hearing your enthusiasm. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. Shout out Billy in Antarctica. Always tuning in from Antarctica. Hasn't missed a stream yet. He's got a 100% record. On Twitch, we can keep track of those things. And I have a Twitch stream going right now. I'm not checking it. The chat would come in, but there's so many things you can do. I think the key here, team, from a strategy perspective, there's a 6-month window right now where I need to get a job, move into my new apartment, build a study/stream setup, and finish a myth. More important than growing the stream, the stream needs to be consistent for those 6 months. Then if all those things are consistent and everything's kind of going well on those fronts, I take the extra money from my job and I'm going to hire like boutique social media agency or whatever it is that's going to help me take that next level once we figured out what it is. But so the next 6 months is really just, I think it's much more companion writing than being like a creator. We're doing kind of just doing this together. We're hanging out as we figure this out. And when I get a job, we're going to start investing in the stream immediately. Throwing some money at it, you know? Okay. Brother grapples brother. So all right, so we're pushing through to the end here today. That's our goal. It doesn't have to be clean. We're saying two brothers aspire to top aspire, but only one can ascend. So brother grapples brother for the top. Okay. And we're saying at the top, 4 eye is nourished and 4 tongue is famished. 4 eye is stronger. 4 eye is strong. We can say 4 tongue is frail. Four eyes strong, 4 tongue is frail. 100% watch percent, 5% pixels though. I love that. It really isn't so much of a visual thing, I think. I think it's more the sound. I kind of do read out loud to you all and am explaining what I'm doing. So I don't think reading along is a huge, it's going to be a huge benefit. Also, Billy, are you on Instagram? I post some clips there and I'm going to try to start getting some more clips going. And that could be a way that maybe it loads better in shorter form content. I'm not sure. How does short form load for you in Antarctica? Guys, if you have any questions about Antarctica, we've got a live one in the house. We've got a man I call Ernest Shackleton. I call him Billiam Shackleton. If anybody aside from William Skorsky 3705 knows who Ernest Shackleton is, huge bonus points in the shout. If you unironically know who Ernest Shackleton is and you don't Google it, I'll send you a EI Werner mug. I'll send you an EI Werner mug from the eiwerner.com shop, which you can check out. I'm not promoting anything, but there is an eiwerner.com. There's a shop. There's a Telegram where I post daily insights about astrophysics and philosophy and stuff. Ram season, I cannot sit and watch today, but wanted to wish you the best stream. Ram season, thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. We had a rough tech start, but we kept our cool. We got it back, and the patience of the communities persisted, shown through. I showed you I gave you a great shout out. I'll clip it for you later at the very beginning of the stream. I was singing, and then I was like, I'm not a musical genius, but I've got a homie Carson who is. So shout you out. You have a great day too, brother. I hope you have a great day. Make some music, enjoy it, settle in at home, maybe climb some shit. And I deleted Instagram, but I could get it again to watch your vids. I feel like there could be a better way. Like let me think about that. Instagram is not like, shouldn't be my be all end all. It's not like, it's just the one that I've had for years. So I need a better social media strategy. It could be X. It could be, I could use some help. I'm not so focused on new people finding this as much as making it better for the people who have found it right now. So my social media strategy is not the most coherent. Adam Eli and I are going to get sushi and talk about that at some point. About what he thinks. He's just a genius across multiple layers. One is social media. Another is he's a brilliant writer. Another is just people. He makes everyone feel seen. He makes everyone feel appreciated. He knows what people are thinking. He understands what questions to ask. The people of every kind, of all different strokes. So shout out to Eli in the chat. Gonna help us with some social media strategy. Four-eye triumphs over four-tongue. Billy, how's the delay in the chat? I made it. There is one layer lower where I could make it ultra low latency, but I'm concerned about. I think it may be better to have a slight delay. How does it feel chatting with me? Do you think I should make it? I could make it even shorter, the delay between text and appearance. What do you think? You have chatted the most today. I'll read this out to you in a sec. Guys, I kind of love streaming. I just like it. I just like hanging with you all. It also allows me to hang out with Billy a lot. I feel like, especially, he's here every time. It allows me to hang out with Jesse a lot. It allows me to hang out with Billy a lot, like these regulars. I see Adam when he's here, you know. I get to see people, and I'm not like the best texter. Adam says, love you so much. Got to head to my first Zoom of the day. I just love when you swing in. Seriously, it really does mean a lot just to swing by. These are weird times, I know, for people, and I really do appreciate it, Adamila. I love you. Have a great day. Good luck on the Zoom. And let's get sushi soon. Okay, so we're saying we're at the top of this spire now. I've been kind of writing in the background while talking because I know it. So the two brothers are aspiring to get to the top of the spire. Only one can get to the top. So the brothers grapple each other. One of the brothers is nourished from all the good milk. One of them is famished from all the shitty milk, the salty milk. So one of them is strong and one of them is frail. And the one being Four-Eye. Okay, we need to start getting used to using these terms now that we've introduced them. These are their new names. The Dawn brother is Four-Eye. Let me even just say it here. We need to learn this language, team. So this is, I'll keep Dawn and Dusk for now. We'll ramp up difficulty of language. We're learning. I want people to be able to follow. Okay. Oh, it says I'm 2 minutes behind, but it's because the stream can sometimes stop the buffer, so it's not really indicative of how your delay is, Sally. Yeah, I think you're probably the exact worst person to give the ordinary experience as far as latency is concerned. I know how data travels, so I really am actually curious. I'd be curious to talk to an Antarctica tech geek. I call myself a techie, so that's like an affectionate term, like about how the connection works and how often they send data back, the data backups. Like those things are kind of interesting to me. All right, you guys want to know just a fun fact while we're here? You want to get smarter for a sec? This is only EI Warner insight here you're about to hear. Tech is all about that. All it is giving information back and forth. Even the stuff you see and click is all just information. And all it is passing data back and forth. between different systems, right? And the key to tech is just making sure that when you pass that data, you package the ball in like the most perfect aerodynamic way, that it flies really easily, and that when you catch, the glove on the other side is ready to catch exactly that kind of ball and unpack it to get all the richness. So there's like, you pack in, you kind of coat it, you seal it up like a ball, all the complexity inside, make it aerodynamic, you pass it, and then the other person opens it up. And it's all tech is, the whole industry really, like 85% is optimizing the throws, the ball, and the pass, and the catch. That's it. That's technology industry 101. And I hope that now that you think about that, it'll help you think about tech a little bit less scary. It's not so scary. It's pretty cool. I understand people's brains don't think like that. I think some things come really easily to me, and some things, like, I think going to Vanderbilt was really good because it was humbling in some of these science classes, man. There's some people I was just so much worse than them, no matter how hard I tried. They were so good at it. Like in math and science. And I used to be really good. And I was pretty good, but there are levels to these things. Okay. So we're saying 4 eyes nourished. He's the stronger. He's stronger. He triumphs over 4 tongue. 4 eye triumphs over his brother. So it has some rhythm to it. So 4 eyes nourished. 4 eyes strong. 4 eye triumphs over 4 tongue. 4 eye triumphs over his brother. You see how it has a nice rhythm, like natural feel to it? The opposite is true for the inverse is true for for 4 tongue. 4 tongue is famished. 4 tongue is frail. 4 tongue forfeits under 4 eye. 4 tongue forfeits under his brother. And you can see there's a lot of F's here. We're really leaning into that for this one. Jay Kirsch, my company just went through a layoff, and as in an effort to carve out a new role and grow, I'm trying to throw myself into a lot of the AI tech. Very new for me. Definitely a lot to learn. Jay Kirsch 907, you're really in the right place because next episode, this is a serious hype, and I'm going to even clip this. So next episode 04, Outside In, it's going to be called Aspire, the namesake of this. I'm going to be making a fresh AI project showing you exactly how I build advanced AI projects that you can build yourself if you follow my steps, and you can watch it back and do it. So Jay Kirsch 907, tune in whenever you can. Next week. I think it's going to be our most interesting one. It's also going to be our most controversial one. The Outside In is a pro AI outfit. Get that in your minds. When you think about it, one of the Outside In is many things. It's a place between places. It's a destination. It is also a pro AI outfit. And we are going to take that stance early. And I think that people in the writing community and stuff are going to be late, and we're going to be fast. We're going to be early. Damn, I'll be in EST, so definitely planning to join. Oh, let's go. That'll be pretty early for you. If you want to sleep in, you could always watch it back, Jake. Like, that's the thing. I am working with an editor to try to create, like, trimmed down videos of all the streams, all the highlights, get rid of all my pee breaks, things like that. All the times I vape, you know how it goes. Okay, so one brother wins, one brother loses, because one brother was born at dawn and one brother was born at dusk. He got better milk, he got stronger. The other brother got worse milk, he got weaker. Let's cook. When do you get to town, Jake? July 23rd afternoon. I'm seeing Odyssey on July 26th with some buddies from Costa Rica. You want me to go pick you up a ticket? Have you seen Odyssey yet? I think you'd like these folks, and I'm just looking for any excuse to see you. Well, I have not, and I am interested. Okay, let me. I'm gonna be a little tight after the stream. Maybe if you just shoot me a reminder text. Let me get your ticket next to us. I'll figure it out in Venmo. I'll take care of it. Just send me a reminder. $4 cents, 4 times cents. Man, it was dope to meet Rafi last time. Is Rafi going to be around? Is there a chance I lay my peepers on him? Ascends atop his heart, descends beneath a spire. I think we need it. Emily, step into the outside in. Early morning mountain time. You are so in it, lock in. Guys, you can't use too many in puns. Let it be known. It's not cliche. It's just, it always works. It's always good. This is internet culture. More the merrier. You are stepping in. You are locking in. You are invited. Yeah, obviously we're not bringing Rafi to the Odyssey. Emily, let me update you actually. Emily is a core member of the Insider Group. She is writing a novel with Jesse, who's another core member. And she is waking up early in the mornings on Tuesdays with us. She is, I think, 100% on my streams right now. And there's only a handful of people in that category. Most of them are my family members. William Skorsky is one of them. So shout out, Emily. And by the way, everybody, just showing up and even saying hi, you get huge amount of points. Okay, so let's just set the bar at just coming in, saying hi, huge points. If you write alongside me or pursue any pursuit, if you even, or just open up a journal and think about your dreams, say, what do I think if I worked on for 2 years? I couldn't finish it this year, but if I did it for 2, I would be really proud of. I'd be really proud of to share. Not to share about it, but to share whatever it is that I did. I think you get bonus points at this stream if you just open up an empty piece of paper, keep me on in the background, and take that time to dream and to aspire. Like this myth is called Aspire. Okay, so yeah, Emily, I'm updating you. Okay, we had 2 brothers, right? So a mother gives birth because a mother's really sad because once she sees a dying son's perfection, beauty, she feels less beautiful. It's like when we look on Instagram at someone perfect, we feel ugly, right? It's a classic trope across mythology and across biology. So we have these, she is sad, she weeps, she cries, and it's from her tears and her shame of spinning that 2 sons are born. And the sons are exactly identical, except this. One is born at dawn and one is born at dusk. One is born at dawn and one is born at dusk. So when they open their eyes, one sees a day, one sees a night. And this is going to inform everything about their lives, everything about who they are. And Emily, you don't need to respond to any of this if you're writing. You just tune in, you just relax, sip some tea, maybe put on slippers. You're writing. Okay. So there's two brothers, and one is born at day and one is born at night. And the day milk that he gets to drink from a mother is really warm and rich and thick. The night milk is cold and thin and salty. It's dog shit. Okay, we hate that. And so one brother gets strong and the other brother gets weak. And the mother asks her children to look at themselves in her waters, to become the man they're supposed to be. He himself who behold, let me just read the actual words instead of reciting it. Actually, I can't recite it. He himself who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. So she felt the son ashamed before a dying son. She wants better for her children. And so she asked her children to look in her waters and see that person who can behold a dying son and know no shame. Okay. And when the guy on the day side looks, he sees that he's beautiful. But when the brother on the night side looks, he sees he's a darkness because it's dark. You can't see shit. And it's really tragic. It's very sad. And so what we're showing through this is that we're actually going to be showing the origin of good and evil in a very, very nuanced way, starting from two brothers who are identical except for this one variable, where they were born, chance and circumstance. Okay. And I don't want to give any more spoilers, but what happened was, so it ends with the brothers, like one is seeking more good, the other is seeking less bad, so they're headed for a collision. Then we get clash, truth foreseen and truth foretold, clash, truth foretold and truth foreseen. And you can start to see the style coming in, how I invert. So this one is foreseen and foretold, this one's foretold and foreseen, because they're inverted. Aspire, twist betwixt them. Aspire, twist betwixt them. So we're saying like where they like an immovable object meets unrelenting force, whatever that is. They aspire, twist betwixt them, because and aspire here, I want you to be able to read into it a little bit, but it represents aspiration. Okay, where two people want one thing and only one person can get it. So four eye sees, four tongue tells, he has a brother, him, her son. So this is actually the first time that they recognize that they have a brother. This whole other time, we actually say, Emily, that the whole other myth, they were operating not knowing that they had a brother. And we say that specifically at the beginning. We don't need to scroll back up. So this is like a clash moment. And remember, today we're just our writing objective is finish 6. Doesn't have to be clean. Does not have to. We're assuming almost everything is highlighted. I honestly want to remove the highlights because everything is just assumed highlighted right now. We're getting to the end of 6. Goal is in 2 weeks, done, rough draft of this done. Then we're just polishing together, reading poems out loud, getting them nailed. Emily, also very important announcement for everybody. More important than any merch, more important than any membership. Next week, we're going to have our most unique stream we've ever had. It's called Aspire, the namesake of this myth. And we are going to be I'm going to be building an advanced AI project from scratch to help write and edit this myth. And it's controversial because people hate AI and because they're afraid of it. But this is a pro AI outfit. We're making that very clear. There's a pro AI outfit. I wish you could write more of it. You'll see its limitations. You'll see its strengths. And I think if you follow my steps, you will be able to write any project. You will be able to get closer towards writing any project. And in addition, it will help teach you about AI, right? So if you are motivated to write something, that will get you to use AI in ways you've never used it before. By that, it'll get you to understand AI better, which will equip you for the future. The future is, you should know. Everyone should know, and it's scary, I know, but you're brave. You're brave. You can handle it, and we can do it together, and you have me. I'm really good with AI, and you can ask me any questions you want, and I am always happy to ask them, especially in the Telegram and the Insider Chat. Anytime you have any tech questions, that's a great place for them. Okay. So we start off with a clash. We get a spire that twists between them. They see that he is a brother. Two of the brothers are aspiring, and only one can ascend, so they grapple. All right, and one of them is nourished, the other is famished. One of them is strong, the other one is frail. So one of them wins, and it kind of has a nice repetition. I'll give you a little sense of what the poems could sound like, because this sounds pretty good. Four-Eye is sorry. I'm on the not disturb now. Four-Eye is nourished. Four-Eye is strong. Four-Eye triumphs over Four-Tongue. Four-Eye triumphs over his brother. Right, so sounds nice, right? You're just telling a story, but you're telling why and what happens and why. Quite simply, quite clearly. And the opposite is true here. Four-Tongue is famished. Four-Tongue is frail. Four-Tongue forfeits under Four-Eye. Four-Tongue forfeits under his brother. Now, this one is much better. This one is much closer to polish, because you can see this. If it doesn't have any poetics at all, any playfulness in the language, I'm probably going to revisit it at the end for a little flourish. Right? This is a freaking epic poem meant for recitation. It's not a book. So I am looking for flourish. I'm looking to show off a little. This is the right opportunity for that. Nothing like EI's AI. I think you'll see. Let's see it. Let's see what I don't think anyone is. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple people out there. I would say there's a couple people, a couple tech geeks writing like textbooks on stuff that are probably doing similar things to what I do. I think they're probably the only ones. Trying to post a photo in this chat, but can't. So I posted our personal chat. Can you copy it from a personal? Let me see if I can add a video. I don't think you can in live chat, Ma. I don't think you can post a photo in live chat, Ma. Let me look at that for you for next stream. But that's a really sweet idea. I'm excited to see what photo you want to post. Shout out Mama Warner in the house. I think another 3 for 3 streams. We've got a couple. So everybody was here. Like, we have like a roughly 6-month plan. Where this is the roughly 6-month plan. Okay, stream every week, of course. Consistency and community. The people who are here, if it wasn't going on, they would miss it. That's the only. I don't care how many people see it. I'm working with an editor. It's maybe going well. I don't really know. We don't care about that so much. It's all about building this experience. If this experience is good and we keep long-term optimism and consistency, we're in business, and we've made something really beautiful. And there's a version of this where in 6 months, I have a study, an apartment, a real income, and I'm warmed up in streaming on this consistent schedule for months. Then with that consistent income, we invest that in like a boutique social media agency. You know, we really we throw some money at it. We grease the wheels. Like I do every thumbnail. I do all the tech. I do all the social media. I do everything right now. It's completely not sustainable. Completely not sustainable. I love it, but I have to keep a narrow focus and just be realistic about what I'm actually capable of accomplishing while trying to get a job, while keeping the writing going. So, Four-Eye triumphs over his brother. Okay, team, I'm gonna take a quick break. Let me see if we have this. This should work. This is gonna be my first real break of the stream. Let's see how this goes. And then this, if I refresh element. All right, I'm going to take a real proper break. I do hope you all stick around, but I do just need to take a quick breather and get some coffee or something and a little stretch. And then we're going to lock in for like a real push to get to the end of this myth and hang out. We still got a while left, so don't disappear on me. The 7 minutes is already counting down. I'll be back. Hey team, I'm back a little early. I'm ready to get back. I missed you guys. I really love this. I swear. Not that I have to swear, I think you can tell, but it's awesome to find things that you like. Okay, my mom wants to post an awesome photo of all the mugs that she got. We cannot. I don't think you can post that in a live chat. Knowing how live chats work, I find that unlikely they would allow that because people could post pornography. So if you want to post a photo, Telegram, and then we can make a YouTube post. I can make a YouTube post on your behalf, Mama. We will make something happen, I promise. So Emily Hamlin says, where do we find the mother? Now their sons are at war. So she is, let's go back. So she is giving the same love to both of her sons. There's this incantatory rhythm that she keeps. She pulls her breast. Drink, my son. drink of me. Almost even sing it. I can't sing, but imagine this, like, drink, drink my son, drink of me, drink my milk, drink of a mother. You know, you're like rocking a baby and nursing. So she's encouraging them to drink, and she wants them to drink. Why? She wants them to become he himself, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. Because we remember, it's tough to remember. I know these are complex ideas, but we remember that she's ashamed before. When she beheld a dying son, she was ashamed. And mothers want better for their children than for themselves. And so she wants for her child to not know the same shame that she knows. And so where is she at in this? What we're about to, she is kind of the setting. So right now it kind of keeps zooming in. So we start at like literally nothing, and then we get a light, and then goes all the way into the primordial atom. We talked about that in myth 2, and then it shatters into the Big Bang, and then we get the planets, right? But then and then we get of the planets, we zoom in on Earth, and then on Earth, now we're kind of zooming in on these two brothers. And so we are getting emergent complexity, right? Because at the beginning, we just have light and dark, right? We just have elemental properties, just elemental components. We're getting emergent complexity, but we are also getting I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, team. Merging complexity. If anyone actually could recall what I was saying, that would be actually insane if you were listening that well. But also, you shouldn't have to recall that and type it out. But anyway, I was chirping. Let's get it. Oh, so where is a mother? Oh, we keep zooming in. That's what I was saying. So we're getting emerging in complexity, but we're zooming in. That's what I was saying. I was answering Emily's question. I'm sorry about that, team. We are zooming in. So now we're on a brother, and now we're actually on a spire where the two brothers are fighting. So what happens is that one brother starts looking for more good, essentially, and the other brother starts looking for less bad. Actually, I need to zoom out. Emily, since you're listening closely, I'm going to zoom. I'm going to give an actual 1.5 minute explanation here. Okay. The mother says, look at my reflection. Look at my reflection and see who you're going to be. See that you are going to be someone who stands before a dying son and doesn't know any shame. Look in my waters, right? And that harkens back, we said, to Genesis 1:2. In the beginning, the earth was formless and void, and the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters. So we're harkening back to that. And we are, she says, look at me. And one of them is in the daytime and one of them is in the nighttime. And the one in the daytime has two eyes to see and sees that he's beautiful. The one in the nighttime can't see anything except for a darkness. And so his own reflection is a darkness, and it's quite tragic, right? And so if we are talking about the origin of good and evil, this is my interpretation. Very often, the origin of good and evil is a nuanced take between two brothers. It's told in many different ways. Romulus and Remus ends differently. Cain and Abel, Jacob and Esau. One other one, okay, we could talk about the most interesting one that people don't even realize, origin of good and evil story. If Adam Eli was here, he would guess it. Can you guess what modern movie phenomenon / play, I'll give you a little bit, / play, is an origin of good and evil story. Origin of good and evil story. And bonus points. Actually, you just need to name it, and then I'll tell you why it's so unique. So what modern phenomenon that has both a play and a movie is an origin of good and evil story? Try to think about it while we write. So, Emily, so one, he sees he's a darkness, and one of them is so excited about this. Maybe that's the wrong word, awed and ashamed here, but the one who's so excited to see that he's beautiful, he figures his two eyes to 4 eyes. So he makes himself called 4 eyes. And he makes 4 eyes to see more good, more milk. But on the right side, we have he is ashamed. He disfigures his 2 eyes. And this is a very powerful word. To disfigure yourself is actually, it means that you can't be refigured, right? To be disfigured it indicates that there is actually no refiguring. So he disfigures his 2 eyes to 4 tongues to foretell less salt. So he's trying to see less bad, right? And so now when we say 4 eyes and 4 tongue, that's where this comes from. Is this guy disfigured his body because his eyes were useless. He couldn't even see any of the goodness. And when he looked in his reflection, he saw a darkness. Emily Hamlin says wicked. Yes, wicked. So let's talk about wicked, why it's so freaking awesome. I'm not ashamed of cursing. I just don't think it's becoming of me too. It's a little natural, and I want to be natural, but I also think that we can all listen to ourselves speak and reflect and try to be better. So wicked is so incredible because of this. Like I was telling you, that it's almost always a tale between 2 brothers, the origin of good and evil story. And every myth, you have to have it. Like, why does one person do something bad, right? Where does that come from? Wicked is so interesting because it's A, 2 women, and B, they're not even sisters, they're friends. And what you will find, exactly. What you will find is that the exact evil that I'm talking about here, remember, we were born at dawn, we were born at dusk. It's the same one as wicked. I'm telling the same story. It is the exact same story, essentially. Wicked is actually more innovative than what I'm doing, because wicked is so innovative in that it's 2 friends. And where does Glinda's goodness come from? When you are so pretty and everything comes so naturally to you and the world is just nice to you, you actually want to do good back to the world. There's this ache of compassion that can fill you. When the world has been fortunate to you, we humans ache with compassion for people less fortunate than us. It's a beautiful thing. And I think that's what goodness is. And that's Glinda the good. Like, she has her moments of being bitchy, but she really does try to be like sweet and nice most of the time. Like, she tries to do good. She tries to do good back. And Elphaba, it was chance and circumstance of her birth that everything happened, and that she was what she was called was evil, and it was truth to power. So evil obviously shifts and changes, and what we're going to find here is that this evil is actually evil, whereas Elphaba is not actually evil. She's speaking truth to power and being mischaracterized. We are speaking about actual evil, but we are going to pity this evil. We're going to pity this evil because it was never fair. It was never fair. And if you come out of this story not pitying this other brother, then you misread the story, because he's also her son. And there was no reason, and you'll find in this story, they're going to talk, there was no reason other than chance and circumstance that one was born at dawn and one was born at dusk, that one is figured by fortune and one is disfigured by misfortune. And that is the argument I am making about the origin of good and evil. I think that Wicked's is more complex and more, Wicked is good. Yeah, it's the best. It's really just, it's as good as it gets. Play more than movies, but a movie 1, definitely. Movie 2, sure. Ariana, I shouldn't be commenting on that. Never mind. All right, so I think I caught Emily up. I think this was just a nice, and now I get to talk to you all the time, Emily. Like, see, and we're kind of going at my own pace. I wonder what happens when I have this in the mornings with work, when I have to be a little more strict. Maybe we'll do some Sunday nights. We'll figure out. We'll play it by ear when I get a job. I started looking for work last week on Wednesday. I have one application in my sights, Emily. But for now, we can just chill and kind of luxuriate in the writing process. Like, we're going to finish this myth today. There's no way I'm hopping off before it's done and I hit this goal. So, like, is there a rush? Like, I'm talking to you, I'm getting you updated, I'm bringing you in, you're writing alongside me, like, and you're logging bonus points. By the way, anybody who's writing alongside me gets bonus points. You have to self-log and self-report, protect the sanctity of the game. You get points for swinging by. You get extra points for chatting. The likes and stuff I actually don't care about, because we're not really trying to grow in that way. We're just trying to create a vibe here. Now, I don't care if random people stumble in, beautiful, but I'm building the pipeline so that that's even possible, but that's low priority. Let me get a Celsius. I finished my coffee. It's actually so much more fun when I can say, instead of me going on that rant, the fact that you said wicked, Emily, and you had to think about it, and I'm talking to a person about it who I think actually understood everything I just said. We've been in those abstract spaces, so I know you understand what I'm saying. Okay. So they clash and a spire twists between them. And this spire, and it's in this moment that they see that that he is a brother and that he has a brother, both. Before they just knew that he was his son, right? And the two brothers want to get to the top of the spire. Two brothers aspire to top a spire, only one ascend. Brother grapples brother. And so you can see we have some poetics here. Two brothers aspire to top a spire. And now we're at the top of the spire, and we're just pushing through to the end here. Emily, I'm with you. I love it. I love it. I love that you're here with me. And Emily, now that you're here with me and you've been having this is the perfect chat. You're the perfect person to ask. I could make the chat delay slightly lower. There's one more setting I can tweak. Or do you think it's okay, the current delay on the chat versus you conversing with me? Do you think, would you rather it be a little bit more real time in the next stream? I could change that. I'd be curious to hear your opinion when you have a second. There's no rush on that. And you can wait on it when you have a moment in your writing. So one brother, 4 eye is nourished, 4 tongue is famished. So one brother is obviously advantaged because he had the better milk. 4 eye is strong, 4 eye triumphs over 4 tongue. 4 eye triumphs over his brother. On the opposite side, we said that this one is much cleaner. Emily, we said, I'm writing a poem. I'm writing an epic poem. And so I'm always going to be looking to show off a bit with the flair at the end of every single one of these. I'm going to use as many different ways I can be to be clever and have it hum with power. So you can see that we're going to get a lot of F's in this one. So this one is closer to complete than this one. 4 tongue is famished. 4 tongue is frail. 4 tongue forfeits under 4 eye. 4 tongue forfeits under his brother. Okay, so you're fully caught up. That took a second, but honestly, I'm glad I did it. This whole entire thing. Okay, nice, Emily. You don't mind the delay. That's good to know. This whole thing is this update took a minute, but it brings you in, and this whole thing right now is all about this, me and you writing together. Nothing else matters, like for the next 6 months, really. Nothing else matters. So this is it. Doesn't matter how many people are in here, doesn't matter how many clips, although I do I'm working on that. Okay, so one brother wins, one brother loses, and when one brother wins, he gets, I'm not saying that he just wins like abstractly. He wins over the other person. The other person loses to the other person, right? So there is this relational element. So whereas this first brother was pretty miserable, just drinking cold, salty brine, now it's going to be even worse because he forfeits onto his brother. Now he knows that somebody else actually has it good. So remember, he just realized he has a brother up here. And remember that this whole entire thing of the milk is 487 words. So we keep it tight around here, and like it may seem long when I'm doing these long scrolls, but I kind of have it zoomed in for maximum poetic, writing. And we're really not using a lot of words. We're covering a lot of ground with very few words, and I'm trying to accomplish a lot. And that, I think, is the style. I think I should accomplish a lot with very few words. I think That's what someone who's overly educated, overly well-read, written too many hours for his current level of success. Not even with that, just written too many hours. Like, not too many hours. That's not true. You can't have too many hours. Everything I just said, rewind that a little bit. But I think there's something true about being, I've done so many writing. I was never not in a writing workshop in college after the first semester, and oftentimes two, one poetry, always fiction, and one poetry and one nonfiction for the major. In addition to all that English lit stuff, like I've read so many craft writing books, and I can just edit to oblivion. So we have to notice these things about ourselves, but I do think that my style is muscular. I don't want it to be sinewy. I don't want it to be chewy. I want it to be muscular, but vascular. I want blood to flow through it. And I want it once blood starts flowing and you find that, and it finds your heartbeat, it tunes to it, you're cooking. That was also a dope extended metaphor. That's probably the best one I've ever come up with live. But we don't need to write it down. It's fine. We have to focus on this. So he sees he has a brother. So now what happens? So he wins. So what happens next? Let's keep going. Let's get some new words on the page. It's been a minute since you've gotten some clickety clack. I'm gonna have to set an example. I can't just chat. Let me set an example. Let's get some writing done. So 4i ascends atop a spire. And I like these ascends, where it ends and then starts. It has a funky name. I've known it a million times, but I don't know. It's just cool. Ascends. It has nice rhythm to it. When we read it, you'll see. So he ascends atop a spire. For what we're going to do here is, I remember what I was doing right before you came. 100%. I'll tell you. I'll show you. Let's do a quick, quiet writing, team. We're going to do a quick, quiet writing. Let me get some writing in and use this feature that I built. I've been enjoying the chats and I always want to respond to people, but I think the project will benefit and the whole stream will benefit from a few minutes here. Let me see. It's been a minute since I used it, but it should work. Boom. I'm going on mute. I'm going to raise the volume of the music. If I forget to turn it back down, just remind me, because it can be pretty annoying when I forget to do that. push that right to the end. Come on, push. Let me just format this. This should all pull. If I redo it, this should all pull. If I go like this. No? Okay. I usually don't write in Markdown, but for the stream, this is the best format for us. Okay, I kind of like Markdown, and I like learning it though. It's cool. It feels like more like you're writing with a pen. How you can like press harder or press lighter, and there's that tactile component versus like clicking formatting or using. It feels much more kind of tactile. Okay, so how did we do? I think we just did a really nice sprint. Emily, how did you do in your sprint? I hope, unless we go to the bathroom or something, or take a break. Hope we got a couple minutes in there. I think we should make sure we get a couple of those in. Maybe I should do more of those and have a minimum number of those that we'll get in the session. Let's say there's going to be minimum 3 of those, so we'll still have 2 more today. I'll throw some juice, but we got to do them in the next hour because I'm going to start this thing. 2 more 7-minute writing sessions. Luxuriating the night having a job right now to brush off. I think the format is built to survive that, to endure that, and lose momentum upon getting a job. So, yeah. I'm excited. I think you're really following me on good and evil here, and I think I'm curious for you to see how I play it out. It's uniquely diverse in the ways that people, some people personify evil, Satan, like the snake, the serpent. Some people just imply it in like parables via brothers often. Oh, thank you, Billy. Billy, I really don't know what I would do without you. Emily, Billy and I have the cutest, sweetest relationship ever. You'd appreciate this. We grew up together, like just literally a handful of blocks away, like less than 5-minute walk, and we rode the bus to school together every single day. We sat next to each other on the bus, talked about video games and nerdy stuff. We've both been into nerdy stuff like kind of forever. Like it's just our interests, our authentic interests that we discovered then. And he's in Antarctica now. He's a geologist, and he has also a perfect record of joining all the streams, just representing the Antarctic continent. So pretty rad. We got to get a consistent Europe viewer. We got to get a consistent. Jake comes in from Asia occasionally. We got to get some continental reach here, fam. Let me read what I wrote. Sorry. Let me read what I wrote in the break. So what I did was we said, okay, 4i is strong, he wins. I combined the ascent and the descent into this paragraph. So he says 4i ascends atop a spire. So this is the setting of the next bit. So 4i ascends after winning, he ascends atop a spire. There, 4i is wrapped. That's a word we've used before, but can't go into it now. Wrapped by a day's splendor. He's just looking at it. It's beautiful. He's just engrossed by it. And in this moment of splendor, maybe we want maybe triumph, splendor, maybe victory that makes him proud. It could be both. Okay, sorry. And then this would be defeat. Sorry, I had the idea and I think, Billy, I'm so glad you reminded me on that music, man. The other day I had it going too loud for like 6 or 7 minutes, and I was watching the replay and it was just impossible to watch back. It was so loud. How was the music volume when it was when I was away? Was that solid? So he ascends atop a spire. There, at the top of the spire, he's wrapped. He's wrapped by triumph, splendor, a day's splendor. He's wrapped by a night's splendor antonym. So I put a placeholder. We're big fans of placeholders here, fam. Okay, we're pro placeholder, pro AI outfit. I need a better word for pro AI, something AI outfit, and we're pro placeholder. Okay, pro placeholder, pro scaffolding is the words that Emily and I used. You gotta keep the momentum if you have it. Okay, so let me follow my own advice. An ache, a pain. So at the moment of his highest height, an ache. He's ached by compassion. So this is the Argent of Goodness right here. I am gonna have to hide a lot of these streams because I give a little too much away from when I actually release it. So y'all are seeing a little bit more behind the scenes. You're gonna understand it at a deeper level right on the first read than others. I will have to make these members only or something. I don't want to give it too much away, but this is the Argent of Good here, right here. At his moment of absolute height of triumph and splendor, he's ached. Ached by what? Compassion for his brother. And I didn't make that clear, obviously. It's a shit, but I make it a little more clear when we go here. The brother says, and now he speaks out loud, right? He says, he is my brother, and it was only chance, one circumstance, that being born at dawn, at dusk. He was born at dawn, and you see how it's, music volume is good when you're away. It really works its way into my brain and keeps me focused. I love that. I'll let you know. We have, I actually think when he's in the chat, I'm going to keep him a little more anonymous moving forward. He and I talked about that, but he comes in the chat a bunch, the composer listening in, and he has another loop. Now that he's heard my clips and seen it, and he's heard the subject matter, he's brilliant. So he has some ideas about, he's producing a new loop free of charge. He's just a homie, you know. You put a writer and a composer in a room for 10 days, we're going to make some music. And if you add that I'm a tech geek, you're going to make a 24/7 radio station that no one listens to, which still is live, that I made. I'm proud of the tech, but I put a lot of energy into that to just not have it really not be a part of the brand at all. Okay, so a brother says, he is my brother, only chance, one circumstance, he was born at dawn, I at dusk. He was born at dusk. I think we need some more comparison here, right? Because he's not just mad that the brother was born in the opposite. He's also, it's not just that he was born badly, the other one was also born good. And I don't think we want to use was. So remember that with the style we're using here, team, stay with me, okay? The style we're using here is the recurring present, right? Some stories, it's very rare. It's in a mythic, I call it that. It has a fancier word that's just going to confuse you. Recurring present, right? So a story that has happened, is happening, and will always be happening. And so what we do for that is we're using a brother, right? We're using this indefinite article a to say any instance of a brother. So when a mother is saying drink my son, it's any mother. It's an instance. It's the most singular instance of a mother to represent all mothers. Okay. But for the recurring present, what I'm about to show you is I don't want this was here. Even though it's true that even within this story that's in the recurring present, this is within the past of the story because it happens in sequence, and you can say this was earlier in the sequence. At the same time, we still want to, from a stylistic perspective, it's confusing. Wait, was? Like, either we're in the recurring present or we're not. So how are we going to fix this? How are we going to get it back in the recurring present? Like that. We've used it before. I've used it before in this poem, so that's why I know where that is. Obsidian a little more finicky than I wish. Also, Emily, I figured out the tech issue I was having last time when you were here live. In here to highlight, you could just go like this. It's pretty cool. We're going to get better at Markdown, and we're going to become wizards in it. It's kind of cool. I like it. I'm not that good at it, and I also have some like additional little bit annoying tech running to keep everything optimized for this exact screen size, which means that I have to do extra testing. So he was born at dusk, I was born at dawn. Now, we could say, obviously, I could repeat that they're going to take an action, right? Based on the fact that compassion is aching them. So the first action they take, so here he's happy, then compassion aches him at his peak. He says, he's my brother. It was only with chance, one circumstance, that he was born in dusk and I was born at dawn. And keep in mind, we do only in one. Keep those who were here at the earliest ones, a dark, a one, and only, okay? We're always reusing pieces. Here we go, only chance one circumstance. Compassion aches and aches him. So the action that comes out of the compassion is here. And now I could repeat, for now I'm just going to repeat it. We could always do it. And ache, let me just repeat it to give us storyline wise. I need the next action to be also motivated by compassion. So I'm going to repeat it. We may like the repetition. We may remove it and then just find another way to sequence it. But you'll see what I'm saying. In a moment here, team. We're getting to the end of this myth today. That was the goal we set. An ache. Compassion aches him. Okay. And I think this poem format is pretty cool. Two brothers who have like to show their identical paths, and imagine like two people singing, like two people with different voices. Could be cool. All right. Compassion aches him. And so now this next action they're taking, the reason why I'm putting this here is to make it clear to myself as a reminder, as well as you all, clearly, this next step that happens because it's quite dramatic. And we'll make sure the pacing is right once we get to the end of the seventh. 4i forgoes his self. Descends. Aspire. Descends. I'm not making this clear to you all at all, nor myself, nor the poem. Maybe not the right words, but we need the concept in here now for the placeholder. We're pro placeholder, fam. Pro placeholder. Oh, we're doing another writing period. Good luck to all those writers. Sorry if that was abrupt, but I need to focus for a sec. And I said that we were going to do 2 more in the next hour, so one makes sense doing right now. This is a writing stream after all. Yeah, I was so locked in. I did not see that we were up. Um, did all 7 minutes tick down? Uh, did I forget to start it? That went by so fast. Um, Ramp season. Are you reading any good books right now? I am literally currently rereading the Odyssey for the daily insights in the Outside In Telegram community. That's what I'm reading right now. And the other thing I've been reading is like a book of quotations. I'll get it in the next break. I don't want to stand up. Really trying to optimize my daily insights that I provide via Telegram to this membership community. You can find the link in the description if you want a little bit more of whatever this is. But those are the two books I am currently reading right now. Age of Innocence is the next book that I'm reading for my book club, but we don't have it scheduled. I'm anxious to read it. I want to read it right now. Emily and I were talking about it, but we haven't scheduled it, and I do want to save it. I want it to be fresh for that. I also think that right now is a really good opportunity. Like I was just in Athens. Like I know so much about this guy, and it's so hot right now that like I want to help people understand it and appreciate it more. You know, just with a little bit more insight. It's not about dunking on anyone with this knowledge. Like it's not cool. You know, I'm a geek. This is my thing. But I have read it, and I am rereading it now to be able to provide just that kind of next layer commentary. Emily Hannah, we have to discuss Age of Any after. Yeah, we have to. I will 100% call you. I promise. I promise. I also need to get your phone number. I'll ping you after. But I realized I didn't have it when I went to text you this last night. But I do need one more book between that. I think the Odyssey is so rich for this for the daily insights that the quote book I can put down and I can pick up something else. The Odyssey I don't need to read as my only book. I think I need some other juice. And I am actually open to a recommendation, but not. Actually, I would be curious to hear on stream. I'm not guaranteeing I'm reading it, and then you can't take offense if I don't end up reading a recommendation, okay? But I would be open to reading something between Age of Innocence and the Odyssey, so something sub 400. So can somebody confirm that did I click, was there ever a quiet writing period thing going and I just missed the countdown completely? Did I ever click it? Like this thing? Or did I just leave it on 0, 0? Because all of a sudden it was 0. And I wonder if I ever even clicked it. Okay. So let me take a sip of Diet Coke early in the morning. We still have a decent bit left to go here, team. So like probably 45 minutes to an hour left. Now I actually want this to not be counting down, but whatever. I need to get a better control on that. One thing at a time, fam. One thing at a time. And the writing is the most important thing. As long as that's cooking, we're okay. Everything else is bonus points. Okay, so he's at the top of his game. A Gentleman in Moscow by Immortal is so good. I love it, Billy. An absolute favorite of mine. Talk about someone who's a wizard with words, who appreciates it, not only the writer, but also the speaker. What's his name? What is his name? The gentleman? Radchenko? No, that's City of Thieves. He's the best. I love that book. An ache, a pain. So at the top of his game, one of them gets an ache. Let's just stay with the left brother for now. Let's go with the good brother. We can do evil after as a reaction. Looking at the stream, brothers, it looks like the clock was running. Okay, thank you. I thought I clicked it. The time just disappeared when I was writing. That happens to me. So that's not abnormal, but it is weird to do it on stream and have it be 0 and not know how long it's been 0 for. Like it just could have been anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes, you could have told me that it was after the timer, and I would have believed you. I had no idea how long it actually was that I was sitting on 0, because I was kind of just deep in it. So what did I write? At the top of his game, you get an ache. And what we're saying here, and this, we're going to find the perfect language for it, but 4i foregoes himself to redeem his brother, descends a spire, descends unto a night. So he's foregoing himself. He's sacrificing himself to redeem his brother. So he descends a spire. So remember, he was atop a spire, and now he's descending a spire, and he's descending into a night. Okay. Now let's talk about the other side. Tongue forsakes itself. So instead, we get the 4-4, right? We get our poetics 4-4. Tongue forsakes. But forsakes is much sadder than foregoes. Foregoes is you put yourself aside. Forsakes is you give up on you're giving up on yourself. And 4i's mission is to redeem his brother. He wants to save his brother based on compassion. 4-tongue's motivation is to escape himself. It's quite sad. He's trying to commit suicide. He descends beneath a mother, and we'll pick the perfect words here. Beneath a mother, descends unto a darkness. So imagine this, right? So one's up, and he goes to the normal level of down. The one who was down goes even lower and goes out into a darkness, goes out into space, like tries to kill himself by hurling himself into space. You might be able to see where this is going. You might not be able to see where this is going. Let's keep it cooking. What I'm trying to do now, oh man, I still have stuff to go, and I'm a little hungry. And I've got a while to go. Maybe I'll eat a yogurt soon. Okay. I feel like I have good energy, but I am hungry. I'm getting hungry. So what happens here is he descends onto a night, right? And now what I'm saying is that it's going to get really bad. They're both going to be on the verge of dying, right? He's going to be blind, and he's going to get swallowed by a darkness, and he's going to be in a darkness, and he's going to get frozen, and then he's going to get swallowed by a darkness until at the last second a mother's going to save them. But I need to give that feeling of of ending towards the darkness. I need to create that with poetics. So let's do it. Descends unto a night, descent unto a darkness. So this tees us up quite well. Descends into a night. Four eyes blind, darkness darkens. Now I need another descriptor here. That's why I put the space here. Now I remember. I gave myself a placeholder. Pro placeholder. Billy, Emily, while we're here, we can have fun thinking about this. I'm trying to think about ways to describe the Outside In, and it only gets easier every week, but as it gets clarified over these next couple months. I was saying pro AI outfit, but now I think we're pro placeholder, and we need to be, I think calling it an outfit, like our community, is kind of cool. So but at pro AI, it seems corny. So it's blank AI outfit. There's potential there. I need a better word than pro. I just thought about that today. A night darkens, a darkness darkens. So what happens here? So 4i is blinded by the night, and 4tongue is like kind of frozen still by the darkness. And what's the next feeling? I think a darkness. So what we're saying here is that one goes into the night and he eats shit. A night darkens, a darkness darkens. Darkness, he's blind, it's getting darker, and then we're going to get like our poetics from before we've used, which is like a darker, a darkest, a dark, right? Whether we get to a dark is a decision to, well, we can remove it, but we'll put it in for now. The order of this is not working for me. It's not as clear as it could be, obviously, but I actually don't want to get stuck. I want to keep going. Ramsey Williams Scott said, you love that book. Ramsey's in it. Williams Scott said, I'm so glad you guys are meeting. These are some legendary insiders here. some legendary insiders in here. And it really is just about us, fam. Like these next couple months, it's just about building a place that we'd miss if it was gone. You know, that we're grateful that it's always there. That if I can keep, that you're just glad it's always there. Okay, you can't make it a Tuesday. You know I'm there. It's kind of comforting to know. You know, it's one thing to go to dinner with movies, to the dinner with a friend on Sunday night, and it's every few weeks or so. It's another thing to do it every 4 weeks, right? The ritual of things, knowing that things are going to happen, being able to look forward to them, being able to count on them, provides a level of safety and comfort and excitement in the moment, because in the moment you get to not have to worry about an ending or cherishing it. You can recognize that it has longevity and that there is no end. Now we go until we can't. Until we collapse. I wish you could play stream music. This would be such a sick time to drop Eminem till I collapse. But we would get dinged. Really cool. We have all original music composed here, and that's something that I think is going to be a huge strength for us moving forward. I think a lot of people are using out-of-the-box music, and we have completely original composed works here. And I think finding a way to make sure that people know that all the art is hand-drawn, that every pixel was hand placed in that animation over months, and the music was made like with tons of love and care by a genius composer. Sorry, Evan, I have to go now. Loving the stream though. I was inspired to write a bit this time, so thank you. That makes me happier than anything, Billy. Just hanging with you makes me happy, but you get huge bonus points if you're also writing, and I really appreciate you swinging by. Well, I'll see you next Tuesday, and also just in the Telegram, of course. So thank you so much for swinging by, Billy. I was telling people before, how many people do we have in here? Let me see. I rarely check viewers because it doesn't really matter. We have 3. I was telling people before that I was having a stream that aspired to write. That was what I was saying. That this is the stream where even if you're just watching to relax, you get bonus points if you're writing or working on a dream, or even if you're sitting down and thinking about your dreams or about what you want to do, what you want to make, what you could share with the world, what gifts you have, what stokes your belly fire, how you could channel that, how you can be a furnace for your community, how your work can heat the world. Okay, so we're getting our darkness and they're about to die. This is not looking good. So let's even make it really clear that it's really looking bad, that everything's about to be over. So we can say something we're quite familiar with, which is a dark. Let me just do it here. A 1 and only. All 1 alone. Still I'm not sure we actually get, I think we get to stillness. And then there's an interruption. I think we go like this. Watch this. A mama comes in to save the day. I don't like the ending comma. It's too much. I think it's cool as an idea to have the comma and then interrupt. But it's a little too obvious. And if the interruption is obvious, then it's less impactful. We're looking for this at last moment here. Experiences. Let's placeholder this. The darkness is splintered. Darkness splinters, whatever. Darkness splinters. And no, we can go right into the action here. A mother wrenches. Mother wrenches. Have her heart. All right, let's walk through this. So, one brother goes down, sacrifices himself to try to save his other brother. The other one goes down below a knight to try to kill himself. One brother is blinded by a knight, so they're both going to die, right? They're both headed towards the singularity, which is one place, right? So there is only one singularity. There's a singular one of them. So they're both headed towards the dark, and we actually achieve the dark. But at the stillness point, at last, a mother wrenches half her heart. So a mother's wrenching out her heart. If you remember in her introduction, we said for her heart, a diamond. So here's half her heart that she's wrenching out. What's she going to do with it? That's where we're at. Her mother wrenches half her heart. Wraps her son. Wraps her son. In her womb, let's say. Seals her son in shell. Okay. Although actually, this might be into the next myth. I may just want to end on darkness here. End on this stillness. That harkens back to a different one where we end on a stillness. In theory, what I'm considering, Emily, whoever else is here, we could even end it like here. A dark. So it ends with them sacrificing and it both being kind of futile. I think that's probably a better ending. So we don't lose this. This was scraps. You know, I'm always pulling things from earlier myths, so sometimes I make a little scrap at the bottom. I can also duplicate this just in case. Okay. All right. Well, if that's the case, let's review it before we confirm. Then we will have done our job today. So this is Aspire. Why don't I just try to read it as it is? Fuck it. I'm starting to lose steam, so whatever we need to do today, I want to know it as soon as possible. So reading's gonna obviously open that up. And I have a dear friend and mentor named Ravi, and he runs my writing workshop. And he said that when he read his audiobook out loud, there was tons of things he just wished he read it out loud beforehand. So part of one of the reasons I like streaming is, I'm already actually reading things out loud to myself all the time. I'm not actually just reading it out loud on your behalf. I need to see how the words feel coming out. All right. Aspire by E.I. Werner. Clash, truth foreseen and truth foretold. I'll just read the left side. Aspire, twist betwixt them. Clash, a brother and a brother. Not reading right. This is going to be a placeholder, but it needs a fourth line. Otherwise, it has no rhythm. You'll see. It's going to have to mirror that you see. Otherwise, it'll be imbalanced. And I'll try to maybe say something a little bit more about the spire here. So we can even throw in this read. Clash, truth foreseen and truth foretold. Aspire, twist betwixt them. Clash, a brother and a brother. Aspire, twist betwixt them. Okay, not great, but let's keep going. Four eyes. We're just highlighting wrong things, so we have to keep going. Four eyes sees. He is a brother. He is a brother. He has a brother. Are those separate lines? Four eyes sees. He is a brother. He has a brother. Him, her son. I think so. It could be considered that would be good. We'll come back to it, but there's an argument to be made for the repetition there and for the completing the quadrant or whatever that's called. Quadrant. Two brothers aspire to top aspire. Only one ascends. Brother grapples brother. Four eyes nourish. Four eyes strong. Four eye triumphs over four tongue. Four eye triumphs over his brother. Four eye ascends atop aspire. There, four eyes wrapped by triumph splendor. Okay, this we can work on today. We'll mark that up. Wrapped by a knight's defeat. And ache, compassion aches, compassion aches him. My brother says, he is my brother, only chance, one circumstance. He born at dusk, I at dawn. I don't think we need the born repeat. I at dawn. An ache. Compassion aches him. We need a line for his brother. An ache. Compassion aches him. Compassion for his brother. We need for brother. Okay, I can't do that. That should do. Nope. We're wrapping up here, team. For anybody in here, a very important announcement. Next week's session, Aspire. I'm going to be building an AI stack from scratch to help us write and edit this. You'll see what it can do, what it can't do, how technologists like me, somebody who works in technology, who's also an author, he wields AI and how I plan to use it in the future. I think it will be designed specifically to be adaptable for your projects. So I think even if you can't catch it live, I think that live is going to be cool. You can ask questions, and I will answer every question. But also, if you leave a comment, I'll answer for you as well. I'm happy to answer. Spy for his brother's fortune. an ache, a pain, compassion, aches, spite, nausea, compassion, blood, compassion. For I forgoes himself, for tongue forsakes himself. To redeem his brother, to escape himself. So he's trying to kill himself. He's trying to save his brother. He goes to beneath a spire. Down is an extra word we may not need, but it's imbalanced between the sentence and the sentence. That's something I should not be working on right now in this read through. Okay. Descends into a night, descends into a darkness. 4 eyes blind, 4 eyes still. A night darkens, a darkness darkens. A darkness devours 4 eye, a darker, a darkest, a dark. So it ends sad. The ending of this of the spire ends sad, but we have one more myth left. So we have to consider. So these are just notes for it, but it's not written yet. Okay, so let's do a top to bottom reading. Let me stretch a little, get a little animated. Let me give you guys a proper reading. We can interrupt it a bit for notes because it is a writing stream and we need to take advantage of it, but I'm going to try to give you guys a proper reading. You get what you put into the reading. And if you read it with energy, you can really get a lot out of it. If you read it lazily, you don't. So that reading I just did there was meh. It was maybe helpful to just kind of review what we had written today. But let's go top to bottom. And I'll try to end most streams like this if I'm feeling up for it. Sometimes I may write till my eyes are blurry and I may not be able to give a good reading. And if I don't have the energy to give a good reading, I probably shouldn't read like the full thing because it's a bunch. It's a bunch to read. So, A Brother, Outside In, Episode 3 by E.I. Werner. Live July 21st, 2026. A Mother, a 7-age creation mythology by E.I. Werner. Age 1, a dark. A dark. A one and only, all one, alone, still a dark. A dark, a one and only, all one, alone, still a dark. A dark, a one and only, all one, alone, still a dark. So there's our first myth. It's been locked for a little bit. We considered, just as a reminder, we decided on stream, we considered ending still and then having the next one interrupted, but we liked the symmetry of this. It's just relentless darkness, unchanging, undifferentiated. H2, A Light by E.I. Werner. At once, I am a light, lightest of all lights, vicinity itself. I come from a dark. My form is white, only white. I am a light. A light is beauty. I love to be, I love to become. Every light, all lights. A light severs. A light severs 1 to 2. A light severs before to after. A light severs a dark to a darkness. A darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to be a one and only. A darkness yearns to become a darker, a darkest, a dark. A darkness devours a light A darkness darkens. A darkness devours beauty. A darker, a darkest, a darkness devour. Let me try that again. A darkness devours a light. A darkness darkens. A darkness devours beauty. A darker, a darkest. A darkness devours a seed. A dark. A one and only. A one alone. Still. And this is how we tee up. If ramp season is still in here, we create a smaller moment beforehand. There's the stillness that is then going to be severed by the next one. So that's H2. What we really had was we had a light coming out and self-emerging and declaring itself. It severs a dark to a darkness because a dark is singularity. It's the darkest possible thing. Once a light exists, it's a little less dark, and that becomes a darkness. The only thing a darkness wants is to swallow all of the light, to return to a dark. And so we get this, a black hole that swallows everything into this seed that then creates a dark, a singularity. And so we are approaching that same singularity as last time when we approach H3. Adam Eli says, I'm back, baby. Hey, Adam Eli, you're back for the ending dramatic reading. We accomplished our goal today. We're just doing a dramatic reading and marking out the things that need to be fixed. We have finished 6 of 7 myths. Not finished, but like we're doing the rough draft all the way kind of to the end here. And they're short, they're clean, they're feeling good, they're feeling crystal. And we've made a lot of great progress. So welcome back, step in, Adam Eli. We have read the first 2, which you should be familiar with. And now we're heading into the third one. The way this one ended was, after a light exists, self-creates, like kind of God. A darkness doesn't like that and tries to devour it. And so there's a black hole, swallows everything into like a primordial atom, a primordial seed, a primordial egg, from which we're going to get the Big Bang. Okay. So this next one is called H3, A Sun by E.I. Werner. Still, a light loves to be, a light loves to become. At last, a seed shatters. A sun shines. I am a sun, lightest of every light, obscenity itself. I come from a seed. My form is gold, only gold. I am a sun. A sun is beauty. A sun shivers. A sun shivers against a cold abyss. I want to practice reading that. We're going for it again. This is an important, every line we're trying to add some flourish in the reading or the writing. Just as long as it's easy to read. A sun shivers. A sun shivers against a cold abyss. A darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to devour it. Capital IT, epicentity, A sun shines. I am dying to bestow 6 children to behold, beheld. I am dying to become a dying sun, its children. Beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. We'll blow through it. So we were in the seed and it all became a darkness, but still a light loves to be, a light loves to become. So even in that last moment approaching singularity, there is this desire, there's this force, there's this motivation, this love to exist, to be, to become, to emerge in complexity, to realize oneself, for novelty almost. And we get this, I tried for the dramatic reading of at last the seed shatters, right? This is our Big Bang. A sun shines, and I'm saying a sun is kind of at the center of this. I am a sun, lightest of every light. So we get the classic intro for these epicene beings. But we're saying here, and I'm not sure it's perfect, but the idea is perfect, but I'm not sure the image is perfect yet. It's difficult to imagine a sun shivering, but it is also quite a powerful image to imagine the sun shivering and recognizing its own mortality, because if we look at a sun just comes out of a seed, and the sun has just been swallowed by a dark. It has literally just been swallowed. So a light was just swallowed by a dark into a black hole and lost. So sun is shivering against this abyss that is going to try to swallow it again. So a sun is still surrounded by darkness, like no matter how bright it is. And so I think that this idea is that the sun comes out, shivers against a cold abyss, right? There's a darkness that yearns to devour it, and it's that recognition that causes the sun to then say, I am dying. I'm dying to bestow six children to behold, beheld. I'm dying to become, and remember, all consistent format. A dying sun, its children. So now it's not a sun, it's a dying sun. So we get a name change. We get a little name change. A dying sun, its children. Beheld, a darkness cannot claim us. And this is one of our primary theses, which is that perceiving is a crucial part of rendering reality, that that a tree makes no sound if it falls in the woods and there is no one there to hear it. It just represents potential sounds that it requires an ear. It requires an ear. Okay, so this is a core thesis of ours. We talked about that. Then we went into a daughter. Let's read. Age 4, a daughter. She shivers. She shivers against a cold abyss. A darkness yearns. A darkness yearns to devour her. A dying sun, its heat, its glow. Beheld, child, I hold you. Behold, child, I behold you. Tying into our beholding, right? She asks, who are you? Its heat, its glow, maybe not needed. I am a dying sun, a light's first heat, epicenter itself. We get our introduction. Let me actually read it right. Its heat, its glow. I am a dying sun, a light's first heat, epicenter itself. I come from a sun. My form is a dying sun, its children. We are more beautiful. This is an important point of ours. The dying sun and its children are more beautiful than before it was beauty, and now we're saying more beautiful. So is more beautiful than beauty itself? It's an impossible comparison. But I think given the word more, could be. And this is mortality here. So those who have spoken to me, this reference to what I just said right there is only for those who've been coming to a bunch of streams. You may not get it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so she experiences it. She asks a dying sun, who are you? A dying sun gives its intro. She asks, who am I? You are a daughter, she herself. Your form is water's blue. For your heart, a diamond. A dying sun beholds itself glimmering in your sweet waters. A daughter dances around its heat, its glow. Around a daughter dances around its glow. A daughter dances around. Rhythm's off. A daughter dances around its glow. A daughter dances. It's got to be shorter. A daughter dances around its glow. A daughter dances back where she began. This word back could be optional. Let's not get caught, but it could be optional. A daughter dances where she began, to where she began. We'll revisit. There a daughter beholds a dying sun. She is rapt by awe. A dying sun is beauty. So she does a full rotation. She does a full solar orbit. She is older now by 1 year, and she's wrapped in awe by a dying sun's beauty. That's what happens there. But then immediately at that time, so this is the place and this is the time, a daughter beholds herself. So here she's beholding a dying sun and she's wrapped by awe. Here she's looking at herself. She's wrapped by shame. She's merely beautiful. She's only beautiful. She feels ashamed of it. A daughter laments. This word is shit. A dying sun is epicenity itself. Me, merely me. she herself. I'm gonna try to do a female voice. When I'm trying to do a female voice, I need to practice a little bit. I think it won't be that hard, but I sound like I may be making fun or anything, or it just sounds dumb, but I'm just trying to differentiate it from the son. A daughter laments. A dying son is epicenity itself. Me, merely me. She, herself. A dying sun is its heat, its glow. Me, merely me. A daughter is half shadow. A dying sun is dying. Me, merely me, alive. She's comparing herself against the sun there. Dying sun. She twirls, twirls. She twirls to flee her shadow. She twirls, twirls. A night, her cloak twirls after. So she becomes aware that she has a day and a night. She becomes aware of her shadow. She twirls to escape it. She weeps, weeps, because it's futile. If a night her cloak twirls after, it's following her, right? She weeps, weeps. I wish I were more than she, more beautiful. I wish I were more than herself, more than alive. I wish I were without shadow. Not the perfect words, but this is where the earth, we're giving her we're talking about what the earth might want. So we are building a myth, a creation mythology with earth as the protagonist, rather rare, actually extraordinarily rare, with earth as the protagonist. And now we're saying, what does she want? And it's a little sad, but it has a happy ending. I wish I were more than she, more beautiful. And I think a lot of women can relate to this more than men. I think both desire to be more than they are. I don't know if it's more. I wonder, Emily, if she is here, I think knows men. I think she could then maybe comment if you think if men or women, if there's any difference. Remember, we're just talking about, when you talk generalizations, everything has an exception and everyone can be an exception and no one has to. If men or women wish they were something that they aren't more. I feel like I wish I'm something I'm not as much as people can pretty much wish. I feel like I'm pinnacle yearning and minimum. I wouldn't say gratitude because I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I would say minimum relishing. Minimum. Not with pride. I think it's how I'm wired. I think it's who I am. It's what summons me. So she's wishing all these things. I wish I were without shadow. At once we go clash, salt tears and sweet waters. At edge and edge, clash. It's not so good. Clash, salt tears and sweet waters. So the salt of her tears and the sweet water she already had are colliding. Clash, its glimmer and her shame. Its glimmer was what we talked about, was the spirit of God hovering over the face of the water from Genesis. We're referencing that when a dying sun sees itself. So that's the glimmer. Every time you see glimmer, that's what we're referencing. The spirit of God hovering over the face of the waters when in the beginning the earth was formless and void. So clash, its glimmer and her shame. At dawn, at dusk, her son born, so she a mother. So not the most clear. We have to clean up some of the language here, but the underpinnings of it is very clear. There's a clash between shame and awe and glimmering and salt and sweet. And in the sauce of her spinning and twirling, we get her horizontal orbit, and we also get life born at either pole. And that's where we pick up from where I was explaining to Emily before. I don't have any time to do any more catch-ups today. So we're just going to kind of go through this. We're going to read it. I will explain it again, but we can't go back anymore. We're just moving forward. We're pushing to the end here. And then reviewing our goals for today and taking a look at next week. So she gives birth at both poles, right? So if we look at Earth, there's two places where, one place where day turns to night and one place night turns to day. At every given moment, there's two of them. There's two poles. And one brother is fortunate to be born at dawn and one is born at dusk. I'll read them side by side, and we'll see how we do. Age 5, A Brother by E.I. Werner. Brother 1. No, that's not the words. Let me read it again. Let me run it back. Age 5, A Brother by by E.I. Werner. He is born at dawn. He is born at dusk. Him, her son. Him, her son. His figure 2 eyes. His figure 2 eyes. 2 eyes to see. 2 eyes to see. His 2 eyes open. His 2 eyes open. He sees. He sees. He sees a day. He sees a night. He sees not. He sees not. He is. He has a brother. He is. He has a brother. At once, she pulls her breast. She pulls her breast. Drink. Drink, my son. Drink of me. Drink my milk. Drink of a mother. He drinks. Her son drinks. Drinks of his mother. A day's milk is warm. A day's milk is thick, rich. Her son drinks. Oh, I just started reading the left side. I kind of had a rhythm to the left side. Let me try finishing it that way. Let's just finish left side. We're experimenting here, team. Thank you for bearing with me. We get better, you know? He drinks. Her son drinks. Drinks of his mother. A day's milk is warm. A day's milk is thick, rich. Her son drinks, is nourished. He asks, who are you? She sings, I am a mother, merely she, merely herself. I come from a dying sun, my figure merely half shadow, me merely beautiful. You can see she has a very self-defeating attitude here about herself. She has desires that are unmet. She pulls her breast. She pulls her breast. Drink, drink, my son. Drink of me. Drink my milk. Drink of a mother. Drink, my son. Drink. Drink, my son. Drink and become he himself, he who beholds a dying son and knows no shame. I realize as you read you start to read faster, and that's not really good for this format, but also I'll try to slow down a little bit. We have a Twitch chatter, PZ Crunchy. What's up, mate? Sorry, I had a little technical issue this morning. My Twitch chat is only coming in small on my OBS. Okay, so she wants him to drink, and she wants him to behold the dying son and not know the same shame that he feels. So he asks her, who am I? Who am I, he asks. Who am I, he asks. She sings, you are her son, he his self. You come from a mother. Your figure is 2 eyes. 2 eyes to see, 2 eyes to see, to seek, to see him in my blue waters. Not great. We were pushing through. She's telling him to look look at yourself. You're going to see the man you're going to be that's going to stand before a dying son and know no shame. So this guy, he seeks, her son seeks himself in her sweet waters. He sees. I am he himself. I come from a mother. My figure is 2 eyes. 2 eyes to see. I see. I am beautiful. So he sees himself as that he's beautiful. He's awed. This is probably the wrong word, but he feels a really good feeling. And he figures his 2 eyes into 4 eyes, 4 eyes to foresee more and more milk. So he looks at his reflection. He's so stoked. He wants to make more eyes to see more of it. On the flip side, we can pick up where we left. She sings, "You are her son." To the dusk son, she sings, "You are her son. He is self. You come from a mother." It's all the same. But he looks at herself in her salt waters, and he sees, "I am he himself. I come from a mother. My figure is 2 eyes to see. I see. I am a darkness because it's a night. He cannot see. So when he looks at himself, he sees the thing that is a darkness, that cold, that thing that tries to devour beauty, that devours light. So there's a self-loathing going on here. So he has oddity is a shame. He said those are not perfect words, but he takes his extra nourishment. I think we need to add one to here. Nourishment used severs eyes. So we're saying is that one, he figures two, he has two eyes, both of them have two eyes, one of them figures his two eyes, and I want him to say that he's using the milk used. So milk used. Salt used. Okay. That's easier to read. Okay, 2 eyes to 4 eyes. And so they end seeking going in the same direction. They end this one, which is myth 5, going in the same direction. How many words? 47 roughly. We get there. So now we have what we wrote. We did some work on that up there today, but we mostly were working on this. We're trying to get to number 7 here. So let's read it. Ugh, I'm getting a little tired. Okay, here we go. Age 6, aspire, clash, truth foreseen and truth foretold, aspire, twist betwixt them, clash, a brother and a brother, aspire, twist betwixt them. It's going to be something like that, but slightly different, but same rhythm. 4 eye sees he is a brother, 4 eye sees he is a brother. This is going to be better rhythm maybe. 4 eye sees he is a brother, him, her son, he has a brother. Meh. But we're saying that during the clash is the first time they actually see each other. 4 eye sees he is a brother, him, her son. It's just this. It's just that. We can maybe clean it up later, but it's just that for now. He has a brother. It's not so clean, whatever. We come back. Trust me, it won't take too long once we have all the pieces together and we make final decisions on things. It's a lot about consistency, so don't worry too much about the language. Let's get through. Over the next couple months, you're really going to see this materialize, team. You really will. I know what story I'm trying to tell. I'm just trying to find the words to tell and the format here. So 4 eye sees, 4 tongue tells, he has a brother, has a brother, him, her son, 2 brother. Okay, so they clash, they see that they have brothers. So he has a brother. I'll come back. 2 brothers aspire, 2 top aspire, only 1 ascends. Brother grapples brother. 4 eye is nourished, 4 eye is strong, 4 eye triumphs over 4 tongue, 4 eye triumphs over his brother, 4 eye ascends. That's a lot of 4 eyes in a row. That's too many. So we talk about when repetition gets too long. That's it. Exactly at this last one, too many. 4 eye ascends atop aspire. So now he's claiming his victory. Atop that spire, we say there, 4 eyes is wrapped. I think we can say by triumph splendor. By triumph, comma, splendor, or by, yeah, maybe try that. Let me get rid of these. There. I think we go like this. Wrapped by splendor, comma, triumph. Wow, I've been going for 3 hours. Time has really flown. Wrapped by splendor, comma, triumph. That means we've read this. Wrapped by. What's the opposite of splendor? Let's think before we ask AI. What's the opposite of splendor? Anybody in the chat? Filth? We could go for like the profane angle, like make one holy and one make it. But I think splendor's nice. Like, it's just beautiful. It's awesome. It's glorious. Shame. I don't want to ask AI just yet. I'm gonna ask in a second because I'm getting tired. Listening a little delayed. Okay, I'm going to. Oh, you're listening a little delayed. Okay, that's good to know, Emily. We have made a lot. I did a lot of it's been reading and just me reading in the background, so it's good background. But actually, I have been interspersing with writing. I can't kind of help it when I'm live with y'all. When I notice something wrong, I got to shout it out. I don't like to just, if I read it and I just own it like that and I claim it, it's a little tougher for me. And this is a writing stream, not a reading stream right now. So we are looking for a, let me ask ChatGPT or Claude, what is a synonym? What is an antonym? What are antonyms for splendor? Let's go for, you go with the narrow search first. You go as narrow as you can, and if there's nothing there, then you open up. That's how it works with data. Okay, someone's drabness. It's not about drabness. It's worse than that. It's not about blandness. I want it to be bad looking. Let's see if it understands my dog shit prompt. Okay. Got it. You want active ugliness. Exactly. Squalor. Not bad. Let's see if we have anything. Ooh. Can I easily share my results here? Here, I'll post them in, and this is what I got. These were my this is what I got. I went antonym. I asked for, that won't let me send. Oh, it's too many characters. Okay, that's too many characters. Won't let me send it in the chat. We got squalor, hideousness, grotesquerie, foulness, vileness, wretchedness, decrepitude, and loathsomeness. I liked squalor upon first read, but I think something to do with foul is good because we've used a lot of F's for foretongue, and I think wrapped by foul, wrapped by forfeit, right? That just sounds nice, getting the F word in there. So AI, I just used AI, reclaiming it. I just used AI to find an antonym. It wasn't right off the bat, and then I kind of just spewed at it some pretty unclear, like a non-clear prompt, and it got exactly to what I wanted, and it uncovered a nice F word for us quickly, and everyone uses a thesaurus, but I just did that quite quickly. Everywhere I use a thesaurus, no one doesn't. Wrapped by splendor, wrapped by foul, wrapped by foul, forfeit. So one is wrapped by splendor and triumph, the other is wrapped by foul and forfeit. That completely works. And we get our Fs. We get our alliteration. There's a final layer of polish on this when it gets sexy, team. Trust me. Sometimes you'll see that peek through. You can see kind of me showing some of my skills in a couple moments. But I can't spend too much time on that until we get to the end of 7. Everybody, so I just used AI. I actually want to make an announcement here that next week's episode is going to be called Aspire, and we are going to be doing an AI session. So I'll show you kind of how I build advanced projects to help with writing projects, to help with kind of anything. But specifically writing projects I can help with. And we'll be doing that next week, Tuesday morning, 7:07 a.m. We will be doing that. So, an ache, a pain, compassion aches him. We said this is the good beginning of good and evil. A pain, spite, gnaws him. This is evil. Brother says, he is my brother. Only chance, one circumstance. He born at dusk, I at dawn. You can see the reading as I'm losing energy. The reading is losing some steam. That's okay. But I'll try to bring it back. But the reading, and it takes a lot of energy. You gotta give it. An ache, compassion aches. Compassion for his brother's misfortune. It's not written right, but it's fine. Spite for his brother, compassion aches him. For I forgoes his self to redeem his brother. Descends unto a night. So he forgoes himself. He puts himself aside to go try to save his brother. But they kind of are like two ships passing in the night. It's the moment that he goes into a night, this guy flies out into a darkness. For as blind, a night darkens, a darkness devours four eye, a darker, a darkest, a dark. And we're ending there. And we're picking up with a mother saving her sons and the final bit here of how she saves her son, how she gets a moon, how she gets a molten core, and how that all plays out. So we hit our goals. That last reading was a little weak. I did when I was actually setting the goals, if you go to the beginning, say that it was stretch for the reading. I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to make it, but that might have been, I might have said that I was streaming before this iteration of the stream. I was streaming for like 20 minutes with the mic not working and the chat not working. So I couldn't even see until I decided to check if something felt eerily wrong. And so I did it. So, oh yeah, I deleted those goals, but we had a goal, which was to write age 6, and we did do that. And so next time we're going to hit up age 7, but we're also going to, I'll probably be making progress on age 7, throughout the week. And so, and I'm not going to hold myself back for the stream. I'll keep you guys up to date, and I want to come ready. I'll come ready for an AI lesson on that. So, this was a great stream. I'm getting tired. I've been up at this since 7:07 a.m. We've been on for a couple hours. I think we wrote well. I think we hung out, and I just decided to destroy my recent outro. So for now, I'll just say Godspeed and good fortune on your adventures. I really can't wait till next time. I'm already looking forward to it. I do love this. It's not something I dread. It's something I look forward to. I get a little nervous, but in like the right kind of tingly way right before I go live. Have to pee again because I get charged up, because I care, because I want to make this awesome for you. I wanted to make this experience awesome for all of us. Like it's creating the space for all of us to hang, and that requires all of you, and it requires a lot of cleverness and consistency from me, and that's what I'm committed to. So thank you all so much. Thank you for stepping in. This is Yarwarner stepping out. That could be a pretty good one. Yarwarner stepping out.